With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
We are live. It is Tuesday, 7 p. The place to be, the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. That is Frankie Fresco in the house. How are we doing, sir?
A little bit under the weather, but we're hanging in tight.
This guy's a trooper. Let me tell you now. Today is SummerSlam prediction night. Yes, that will be here later on tonight. We'll talk a little bit more of WWE as well. But tonight, we're flipping it and we're flopping it. And we're going to start with AEW. And again,
I mean, we're going to lose most of the crowd.
Yeah. But we will be back. Well, we'll alternate. Let's alternate just so we don't lose everybody. All right. So don't forget, if you're watching us on Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel, jump over to the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe. If you're on the Frankie Fresco, also jump over to Stanley Media House Network. Hit the subscribe. Please help us both out. And if you're watching on X, jump on over to the YouTube channels. Hit the subscribe. Jump in to chat. You can also chat with us from X. So just throw in the little question, comment, moan, groan, complaint, whatever it is. We're here for you, the wrestling fans.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't freeze. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's go. Hey, Terry, how we doing? Dad is in as well, so we appreciate everybody that has joined us here tonight. AEW, let's go with what happened on Dynamite. Again, if you're new to the show, we are on Tuesday night, so our wrestling week starts with AEW Dynamite.
Yes.
And runs into tonight so that you know where we're heading. AEW Dynamite this week. Now, let me go back here because they said we're stacking the next two cards because we need the ratings. The first week, they got a 795. That was the MJF, Will Ospreay, 1 hour, well, actually 59-minute, 58-second marathon.
Yes.
That did a 795. This week, we did Blood and Guts. And MJF renamed it the American Championship.
Yes.
And it dropped in ratings. 786. Came in just a little underneath, but together, neither one of them, I don't think, did what they thought it was going to do. And to be honest, Frankie, look, there was two things I got on Dynamite. I did see that Camille has finally debuted. She's been under contract since like February. They debuted. Apparently, she's going to be now the bodyguard to Mercedes Moné or whatever they're going to do there. She attacked Britt Baker. You saw MJF rename the international title the American title. You saw Will Ospreay come out and say, bruv, and do all his thing there that he did, pick up the international title out of the trash can. And then we had Blood and Guts.
Before we had Blood and Guts, we had that chopping fest between Jericho and Suzuki as well.
Oh, see, again, I don't need to see Jericho wrestle on Dynamite. I don't need to see Jericho wrestle until pay-per-views.
They had over, like, dude, I kid you not, maybe they had 100 chops to the point where Suzuki made Jericho bleed on his chest. It was pretty interesting.
That's probably why it was the lowest part of the rating of the show. But,
oh, really?
That's funny. Yeah. It dropped considerably, and then it came back at the Blood and Guts.
Damn.
Let's start with. We'll get into Blood and Guts in a minute. Your thoughts, MJF renaming the title to the American title. He's taking pictures at the I don't know, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con maybe, with Kurt Angle, and he's like, it's America versus the world or something. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, if you're trying to make heat on MJF, calling it the American title because you're wrestling it All In, I just don't understand the concept of maybe renaming it to get more heat on him. Because to me, it's like, hey, I'm American. Let's go MJF. Beat bruv up.
I mean, I feel the same way. I didn't like the fact that he changed the name of the title. I thought that was stupid.
I did like the flag with all the MJFs as the stars, though. I did.
Yeah, the belt looked pretty decent.
The belt was decent. It was just, the American flag, and
I like when they dropped the flag. It sucked for the people who were behind the flag.
Yes, yeah.
When they watch Will Ospreay for a minute there, but I don't get it. I guess they just find it. I guess you're right, and maybe they just want to make it America versus Europe or something. I
guess since we're going to Wembley All In, let's get All In. I guess they're going all in here. But the other thing is, again, if anybody has watched WWE programming, no doubt what's up. If anybody has watched AEW programming, not sure if any of the 786,000 of you that have tuned in are listening now, but. Like,
wasn't it supposed to be somebody else fighting?
Exactly where I was heading. It was supposed to be Pac against MJF. You did a 4-way global match, and now you had Ospreay come out and be like, "This time we do the match on my home soil, All In." So what happened to Pac?
Are we 100% sure that happened? Because when they did that, I was second guessing myself, and I was like, I thought I heard him say that Pac was the winner of that match.
I have it. Hold on a minute. I have one of these things here saved.
Because if maybe we made a mistake. Is it us? Is it our fault, or is it AEW's fault? Because it just seems weird when I saw Blood and Guts, and I see him say, "You and me at All In." I'm like, wait, isn't Pac supposed to fight him in All In? That's what I thought. But when he said that, I was a little bit confused. So maybe I said, maybe we dropped the ball. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe we heard it wrong. That's what happened.
All right. So here it goes. This is MSN. That's reputable, right? This was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Top AEW star Pac status for All In 2024 has seemingly been revealed on Dynamite. The latest edition of the Wednesday night flagship show emanated from the Calgary Stampede's Saddle Dome in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This week's episode of Dynamite featured a 4-way match between former ROH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, Kyle Fletcher, NJPW legend Tomohiro Ishii, and former international champ Pac. The Pac wins it. Now this win entitles the former WWE NXT champion to a shot at the AEW International title, which is currently held by Will Ospreay, which he will put on the line against MJF next week on Dynamite. After the match, Pac addressed the losses he has suffered since his return to AEW in March this year, alluding to his failed bids at winning the Continental title, the Unified World Trios titles, the 2024 Owen Hart Cup. Regardless, the 37-year-old star reminded fans that it was all in season, and he vowed to capture his shining moment at Wembley Stadium, suggesting he intends to cash in his opportunity to challenge for the international title at All In 2024. So now my question is this. Was this a cash-in type thing?
I don't know, man.
I remember when he won, they said he will face the winner of Will Ospreay versus MJF. They didn't say anything about being able to cash in. Now, if it's a cash-in thing, then I read into it wrong. But
I don't remember it being a cash-in.
I don't remember that much either. I remember there's a winner get that. But hey, again, however it is, I think the MJF Ospreay match makes a lot more sense at All In than Pac against MJF. I think what you're going to end up doing is as what you said, but they're going to reverse the order. You're going to get MJF Ospreay at All In. Ospreay will win. You'll get Ospreay Pac at All Out.
Yeah.
Which,
cash in means that he could cash it at any time he wants.
I would reading that, it makes me think that they do like the Money in the Bank type thing, whereas the match is going, he cashes it in and joins the match or something. I mean, maybe that's the whole thing. Before, I thought it was he won the match, which granted him the opportunity at the title shot. That's the way I read into it.
If there's a cash in, didn't they used to have like a poker chip, and then you could use the poker chip?
Yeah, but that was the All In Battle Royal. The All In Battle Royal, the Casino Battle Royal. I'm sorry.
And you could use the poker chip, right? And then the poker chip was being used as like Money in the Bank, like the same as the briefcase.
Yeah, but you didn't get the briefcase. You had to carry the poker chip.
Yes, you carried the poker chip. Pac ain't carrying anything now.
No, Pac's got on his hand. I won the international 4-way extravaganza.
Okay, so I
he
guess
holds it up to the camera.
So AEW wants us to imagine that he's carrying something.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
If I was him, I'd just throw like something over. I'd just carry strings to the rope with an imaginary bag behind me, like I'm carrying something, because that's what they've done now. That after reading that, it's so AEW to me, man. I'm sorry, man.
It was just.
I love pro wrestling. I love the inside the ring action of AEW. But man, and I said they need to do more stories. They've started to do more stories, but it's like you can't have it like week to week moving because you forgot something or we got wait, it's gonna be MJF against we can't have that all in like then make a storyline purpose for it then or something.
And not only that, it has to make sense. Look, yesterday I went to go see Deadpool versus Wolverine. Great movie. I don't know if you're a fan of the Marvel universe.
I'm not a big comic guy.
But I saw that movie, and everything that is being played in that movie goes in sync with the storylines that have happened in the other previous movies, like the Avengers Endgame, the last Deadpool, the Wolverine, the last Wolverine movie that he did with the little girl. I think she's X-23 or X-24. I don't remember if it's 23 or 24. Anyways, long story short, it's amazing the way that they are able to put in so many storylines. And I'm going to tell you something. You'll be surprised, man. They are able to implement X-Men, old X-Men movies into this Deadpool movie, and it makes perfect sense. But AEW can't get one thing right, which is, hey, we granted this guy a match at All In, supposedly to cash it. And I mean, they're referencing All In. And then you throw in MJF versus Will Ospreay. It seems like they don't give a damn. They just go with the flow. Like the more and more I see AEW, the more and more it reminds me of WCW, bro. I don't know how this company's gonna last. I mean, Tony Khan has money, but I don't know how this company's gonna last, man. Like, I don't know how the fans are. Just give it a couple more years. I don't know how you can't win the fan base by just giving them wrestling moves that long. I mean, I don't think so. I think you have to be much more organized.
You do for a while, and then you get the numbers they get. Which, look, again, I get what ratings are and everybody talking about it, but again, when you look at their numbers from this quarter last year, they're down 16%. Last year at this time, they're doing 885. Right now, they're doing about 740 average. Now that's the 4-week average.
Trending.
So again, you're trending down. Like you're losing. Even some of your hardcore, base is like, okay, it was good. It's still good, but the inside the ring action is phenomenal. But that can only carry you so far in episodic TV. Because again, it's every week you're watching this. It's not like, okay, we do this and we do that. Steven Gonzalez, what's up? No doubt. I'm not sure if I said hello to you, sir, but I appreciate you guys being in. And then also now, again, I think what they're doing is you got the American title with MJF. You've got the international title. Ospreay pulled out of the garbage. So you'll have the American title against the international title, and ultimately, I believe Will Ospreay wins this one.
And that's another problem, Sean. Why so many goddamn titles? Like,
also, why do you throw that title in the belt and the trash? Like if you want it to be an American title, it's fine. And then you have the international title, but I'm going to rename it and call it the American title. Why do you have to throw the other one in the garbage?
Yeah, because
to me, that diminishes that. If anything, lay it down on the mat and be like, I don't want the international title. I'm the American champion. Or maybe something along those lines. Why throw out a title that you're trying to build up? And again, the reason I say trying to build up is because, and now I'm trying to find this right now. I'm sorry if you're watching me on.
It's like he was associating that belt directly to Will Ospreay and saying like that was his Will Ospreay's Ospreay's belt, and because it was Will Ospreay's belt, I'm throwing it in the trash. But that's not the case. There's been other people who've held that title.
And again, remember, it used to be there was something before the international, right? It was the Continental, then it became the international.
That's the
right?
same. That's the same.
But no, the Continental is Okada, right? Or what has Okada got?
Actually, I don't know. I don't even remember, bro. Which one's I think Okada has the one that Orange Cassidy used to have, right? Is that the one?
Yes. No. No.
Or is it the Will Ospreay one?
Will Ospreay has the one that
Orange Cassidy used to have for a while.
That's the international title.
So then, where does
Okada's got the one that? Who did he beat? Who did Okada beat? Did he beat? I think he's the Continental, but. Hold on. So I found it right here. I've got
Sean, our point exactly.
There's way too many damn titles.
Our point exactly. We don't keep track of that. Like in WWE, you could keep track of who has what. Here, you're like, now even if you weren't tuning, if you didn't watch Dynamite last week, and you start seeing freaking MJF come out this week with a brand new title, you have no idea what the hell happened here because you're like, what happened here? Because I didn't know didn't he have Will Ospreay's title? Did he lose that belt and gain another belt from somebody else? That's how lost you could technically be because of the simple fact that they just keep coming with some wild things that you're like, what is going on here? And like I told you, man, you mention it all the time. The ring action is amazing, but it's only gonna take you so far, and it's gonna get tiring. It's gonna get boring.
Well, you can only do so many Will Ospreay versus MJFs. That's the problem. And you waste them on AEW Dynamite, which again, taking nothing away, but like you should be using these shows to showcase that talent, but not put on. And again, AEW staff are probably going to be upset with me for saying this, but if you're giving it away for free, why am I going to pay for it?
Yeah, we already saw it.
Like, why am I gonna pay $49.99 to watch All In when I watch for an hour for free on Dynamite?
Like, how are you gonna top that one too? What else can they do? They went at it for an hour, and everybody said,
what's gonna be the Iron Man, and then we restart it like the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart thing.
And not only that, but a lot of people were saying this was probably the best match ever in Dynamite history. Yeah, you got it in Dynamite. You got it for free.
Yeah, like that also made it one of the better ones because you shouldn't be getting those matches in Dynamite. When you do, they should be the best.
And then, of course, you can't even crack 1 million viewers because, again, the people don't care. at the end of the day,
You haven't
the
you haven't driven them to your product. And the worst part about it is on that show, we discussed that one show the week before. Your matches were Swerve Strickland against Okada,
Mhm.
Mercedes Moné was on the card, and then basically MJF against Osprey. Your five faces, or four, and then Britt Baker, if you add her in to the women's division, five faces of the AEW were pretty much what was driving that show. And it was no different than the show you got this week, number wise.
And is there any way to pull up the Blood and Guts pure viewership the previous years? And
Oh,
why?
I'd have to do that. I was going to say, yeah, it was
If you go,
it helped improve. The ratings would have been a lot worse.
no.
It
What I'm
actually
trying,
drew ratings this week.
what I'm
That
trying,
match drew ratings.
what I'm trying to say, because I figured this one would obviously help because everybody know Blood and Guts is a big match.
Let's
You
put
got
it.
two
This
ratings.
is how bad the numbers were. Remember, it ended 786.
Yes.
Okay, Blood and Guts. The four 15-minute segments all were above 820
Mm-hmm.
for those segments, just so you know. And the runover went to an 838. So think about that. And you still ended with a 786. How bad were that first hour?
I'm telling you, man, because you had so you had the Chris Jericho Suzuki fight, and that match was not. I mean, look, I will never forget when I saw Suzuki fight against Brian Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, no, Brian Danielson, and it was actually here in Miami. I'll never forget it. And I saw that match,
Game
and
Zone Night Center, baby.
it was amazing. The guys were chopping each other up. It was awesome. Now, a couple years later, now I'm seeing Chris Jericho again with Suzuki. Same crap with Suzuki where he's chopping people up left and right, but this time he's just chopping. Like they're just chopping. And they dude, literally, Sean, for about 20 minutes, they were just chopping each other up.
Well,
That is not wrestling in my eyes, man. I'm sorry.
The problem gets to is this, man. Like Suzuki is a treasure, but like when you start bringing him out every week.
Well, I don't think he's been there every week. The problem is, Sean.
No, but every time they need somebody, it seems like it's Suzuki, it's Ishii, it's those New Japan guys. When you look at who they bring over, it's Suzuki, it's Ishii, it's of course Darby Allin is the break in case of emergency. That's Tony Khan's Brock Lesnar.
And now they're bringing Morals a lot because he's in Collision every single time.
Yeah.
He fought Hologram or whatever his name is.
Yeah, the Beast, Morals.
Yeah. So now they got him. Like he's like the bad guy in Collision. Every single Collision he's wrestling. Yeah. He fought Darby Allin last week. He fought the Morals this week. And then
Hologram.
I'm sorry, he fought Hologram.
You got it right the first time. You're good.
And then Hologram, you got Hologram. Like it looks like they're reaching with that guy.
He's going to be their Rey Mysterio type. Their luchador guy that can do stuff that nobody else can.
But they had luchador guys already.
Yeah, after a while, this is where and again, I used to hate that WWE put restrictions on guys, but now I can understand it because when you allow one person to do it, you have to allow everybody to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay doing an over the top rope plancha, but you can kind of control that because the guys can catch you. And you've watched it happen on AEW, you've watched it happen on WWE, you've watched it happen on TNA. What happens when guys try to do springboards? Sometimes the ropes are there, sometimes they slip, sometimes they're, if you're coming up to me to fight me and you slip on the rope, I'm not going to grab you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody understands the choreography of wrestling. But if you're trying to blur that line,
blur it.
I'm not trying to help you if you're going to fall.
No, of course not. Because you don't expect that person to fall. That's why.
Apparently it ain't. I mean, bro, let me tell you something, man.
And no, you mentioned something. Hold on, before you continue, you mentioned something that I really that you say a very good point. The problem with AEW is that they sometimes allow these guys to have so much power in their character. If you look at Rey Fenix, if you look at Penta, which Penta's my favorite wrestler in AEW, and I barely see him now in Dynamite. You have the other guy that walks on the ropes. I forgot his name.
He's with Penta, and it's the Commander.
Commander.
Yeah.
All those three guys are very similar to each other. It's the same character. All three of them are pretty much the same character.
They're all AAA guys. They're all AAA.
Not only AAA guys, they all wear a mask. They all fight very similar, like luchadors and all that stuff. That's the problem. You have to have a balance.
I believe they're all related somehow too, as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. But the problem there is they're all very similar. So if I see Rey Fenix fight, okay, it's the same for me in my same eyes as probably watching Commander fight. It's probably the same thing as fighting Penta. It doesn't. I understand now what you mean with WWE, where they restrict who it is. You're not gonna see Rey Mysterio and then four other guys similar to Rey Mysterio, because it defeats the purpose of what Rey Mysterio.
And that's what hurts Dragon Lee right now too, by the way. Dragon Lee is with Rey Mysterio, but how many times have you seen maybe in a tag team match? But other than that, it's what Rey Mysterio is fighting.
Because Rey Mysterio has been built that way for so many years. That until Rey Mysterio doesn't retire,
if you go to a live show, you'll probably get to see Dragon Lee.
Yes.
But on TV, it's Rey Mysterio.
And not only that, not until Rey Mysterio retires or gets hurt for a long time, you won't Dragon Lee won't kind of like flourish, because you always will have Rey Mysterio in front of him. And that's the problem with AEW. You have a lot of guys that are very similar to each other as well, where you're like, okay, what am I getting? Like, I'm not getting anything. It's the same guys over and over. And then they have to build
to get invested into them when you see so many of them. Which, again, think about the guys that you can invest in AEW right now. It's MJF because he stands out, he's different.
Yes.
Swerve Strickland because he's different than everybody else.
Yes.
Britt Baker, now that she's coming back from the injury, you can kind of, Mercedes Moné, if you're that way, she stands out. You know what I'm saying? But again, there's only about a handful of talent that were like, they stick out to where you can get invested into them more.
Look at Tony
That's
Storm.
The problem.
Look how Tony Storm's character developed so well.
Yeah.
But now you're starting to see like Mariah May for a minute there was trying to be like similar to her, but now she's kind of changed. But Tony Storm still stands out, even though I don't like Tony Storm's wrestling. But she still stands out, and everybody still loves Tony Storm. You don't see that from anybody out there right now. No, but again, it's just
Willow Nightingale actually is another one where she's different. She's happy, she's positive, she's happy go lucky.
But here's the problem. But here's the problem with Willow Nightingale and the storytelling. They had that battle. What is it? After Collision,
Battle of the Belts.
Battle of the Belts. She was fighting. Who was she fighting? She was fighting Peraza. I thought she was fighting Chris Statlander. She wasn't fighting Chris Statlander.
Oh, that's this week on Dynamite.
Okay, so check that out. That's 3 times she's fighting Chris Statlander,
and it's a CMLL eliminator match. Like, that's the thing that, look, man. I know you got on to me about it's ROH and AEW, and I get that there's the forbidden door and all this stuff, but like, why are you having a CMLL eliminator match on an AEW Dynamite?
I agree.
If you're going to do an eliminator match, do that in CMLL. Put the title on the line on TV.
I agree 100%. I don't have a problem with them bringing the belt, the Ring of Honor belts. That's the only belt, in my opinion, that you should be. I'm okay leaving it, and it's only because AEW owns Ring of Honor. That's the only reason. I don't need to see New Japan belts. I don't need to see Mercedes Moné with the New Japan belt and then the TBS belt. No, this is not New Japan. This is
not only that,
AEW. It frustrates me because there's so many belts.
But not only that, also, but now it's overplayed.
Yes,
it's overplayed. Like with the NXT TNA thing. Okay, it happened. Now they've also added in who are they doing with
what are you talking about?
In Japan, they're doing they're working with another group there and another group in Mexico as well. I can't think of the name of them now. But when you look at at what it's like you're not going to see. Think about it. They introduced Jordan Grace to the TNA heavy, women's champion, but they're not having her defend the title
in NXT.
in NXT. You know what I'm saying? Like when she fought at NXT, it wasn't for her title.
No.
What they did was Jordan Grace did on TNA TV, did an open challenge to anybody that wanted to verse the team. And then an NXT star showed up to answer that challenge.
Correct.
It wasn't, that's where like, look, TV time is precious, man. And you don't have enough TV time for everybody you got now. Because nobody watches Collision anymore.
So sad.
It was 3:38 this week. And we're only 3 weeks away from college football kicking back up. So it's not like you're going to go up anytime soon. And the Battle of the Belts did 308. And again, I get it. Ratings are what they are. But they are still a number that you can look at and look at tendencies. And that number has not gone up. That number stayed in the threes, maybe the low fours, without any competition. So what's going to happen when college football kicks back off?
And Sean,
you know what's going to happen? They're going to start recording shows, and that's why they're also the next 5 weeks, which is half the college football season. Guess what? They're in the same building.
I'm going to tell you something, man. There is a reason why there's a reason why you could see a wrestling I guess being run correctly and one being run all over the place. There's two different shows on WWE. You got SmackDown and Raw. You have viewerships for both shows. And let's not bring NXT into it because now NXT is doing better too.
They're a little bit behind. They did a 670 this week. So they're still a little bit behind. But I mean, again, if you want to compare, you're talking about it would be like comparing a pro team to what, Division 3?
Yeah.
Or Division 1. Even like pro in college. I mean, like
like the major leagues and the minors.
Or something like baseball, I guess would be the best way to look at it that way, not like football, because football is just a monster in ratings anyways. But again, you have guys and gals that don't have the names that you're paying big money. You think NXT's roster is anything close to what payroll wise they're paying on AEW? Like, really?
And then like you said earlier, there's just a lot of things that they just don't get right, and it sucks, man, because I really feel like they're all over the place. They need some structure, bro.
I think they need a committee, kind of like what. And again, I get it. The Bucks.
No, I don't think they need a committee, Sean.
But there's a committee at WWE, man.
I think they need
a committee. There's like 6 or 7 people involved in the writing, and then ultimately, of course, it goes to Triple H in this case or whoever to make the ultimate. But you have, different people bouncing it off of, and not the guys that are doing it in the guys and gals doing it in the ring.
Sean,
it's other people setting it up and saying, okay, this is what we can do.
You need to have somebody who is gonna sledge the hammer, bro. Somebody who's gonna tell these characters or these wrestlers, hey man, we gotta stop. I'm gonna show you, or I'm gonna teach you, or help you develop this character. This is what works for you. This is what works, and it's gonna be hard. And I don't think it'll ever happen because obviously, over the years, AEW has already kind of given that autonomy to its wrestlers. So I feel it's too late now. But in order for AEW to technically stand out better, you need somebody to pretty much lay down the hammer and say, hey, look, I'm the one who's calling the shots moving forward. This is what we're going to do. And you have to hold back giving this autonomy to some of these wrestlers. That way it doesn't clash. There's a lot and again, we're not behind the scenes. I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know how much Tony Khan is putting emphasis into this stuff and how much is the actual wrestler who's making these calls. But throwing a belt inside a trash can,
doing that at certain point, you've got to. And we've talked about this for months, man. I said it back in a long time ago. They have already gone too far. The nuts are running the asylum.
And just like
And like I said, where Triple H, everybody was wrangled in and Triple H let loose, you can bring that back because it's never been out here. The problem with AEW now, you're way out here. You can't bring that back in. It's not going to happen, man. Not going to happen, especially when you have people going there. Why? Because they can do whatever. And again, not figuratively speaking, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Mercedes Moné went there because AEW gave her the freedom to keep doing the Mandalorian, all the other stuff, where WWE said, we'll have to see what's going on in the schedule. We can't guarantee you that you're going to be available at those times. We don't know where you're going to be at in the creative process, where we're going to have you.
Mm-hmm. And then let's talk a little bit about what happened with Blood and Guts.
Oh,
like, did you even enjoy that match? Like,
no, I'm not into all that. I mean, it was cool. It was very violent. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. But bro, you Jim McElwain the finish, bro. You jumped the shark with that finish.
Jesus, bro.
Like, I mean, it's like pro wrestling, and you're talking about this guy chained to the gate, and you're going to set him on fire unless somebody says we quit and gives you a title match. Like, well, what are we doing here?
That's even worse. I don't think is that even worse than an indie show? That's worse than an indie show, right?
I've never
go that
seen
extreme.
Anybody bring in, and again, I say that at the same time, in the same breath, saying they hung Darby upside down and kept super kicking him with tacks.
All right, so Cap, what happened at Blood and Guts for you guys that didn't watch?
Because
obviously, it only 700,000 watched, a little bit over 700,000. They chained Jack Perry on the cage. They handcuffed him on each end. They had him handcuffed like this. He couldn't move. They poured gasoline on him, and then the savior, Darby Allin, who always, one way or another, figure out the way to be in these crazy matches, gets a lighter or like one of those.
That's right. It was the lighter, right? Because my thing was, when I saw it, they were like, "Oh, get the flamethrower," and he comes in. He had just the little.
Yeah, like you. That's another thing.
The thing you like to do barbecue with.
Yes, what you used to turn on the barbecue. You sold us the flamethrower. What, last month, and now you're coming with the little lighter,
the little flicker.
Like, come on. So
I'm lighting the match and throwing it on.
So he's about to go and burn Jack Perry, and then all of a sudden the scapegoat. And I mean, kudos to Jack Perry. He's like, nah, man, I'm gonna die here. Screw it. For a minute there, I thought they were gonna actually burn him. I was like,
the Elite was gonna sacrifice him.
I was
like, oh well, buddy, burn.
They're so desperate for ratings. I guess they're gonna just burn a person live. I was like, screw it, just burn him then. I mean,
he's a scapegoat anyways. Tony Khan's like, you broke my freaking neck,
dude. Like, I was like, dude, they're really gonna burn it, because nobody was. Look, the funny part was that nobody was saying anything. Like you'll see Jack Perry, and he's like, he was like, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm like, if you're not saying it, then what the hell? They gotta burn you then.
Okada's like, bitch.
so then finally, one of the Young Bucks, I don't remember which one.
I think it was Matt. I believe it was Matt.
One of them goes in and he tells Darby Allin, yo, chill, you got it, man, you got it. We give up. That way the fight would end. And then he's like, you gotta give him a championship.
Then he wanted a title match, or he's gonna set him on fire
because he has a belt as well. So then.
That's right. Jack Perry's a champion as well.
He has a belt as well.
TNT champion. There's so many belts. You get a belt.
So then that's how it is. The show, like, it was so all over the place, and then it ruins the whole thing with the Young Bucks. The whole time you've been making it seem like the Young Bucks are better than AEW, and then you make them lose the Blood and Guts. Like, that makes no sense, dude.
But here's the other thing behind this. They were always supposed to lose that match. The problem happened is, I believe Darby Allin got thrown into it because that was supposed to be Eddie Kingston. If what I read from Fightful is correct, and usually they are pretty accurate on all that, Eddie, or maybe a Mark Briscoe spot was supposed to be Eddie Kingston, because I just didn't see where Mark Briscoe is a great guy. I love what they're doing with the collaboration, his word of the day and all that stuff, showing a little bit of personality. Brought his son in, his newborn son who's named after his brother who tragically passed away. All that, a great story. I just didn't see where he fit in on Team AEW. He's the Ring of Honor champion. And he was on Team AEW. But again, it is what it is. But I just thought that, again, they were always supposed to win. But like, to me, the Young Bucks, as to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, is you look at them as conniving, scheming, and then you give them a heart. Like, to me, I'd be like, burn him. It's not my title. I care less.
Yeah.
He's not really the elite. He really is the scapegoat. We don't need that guy.
We don't.
Do what you got to do. See you later. We're out. Like, I mean, that's, again, if you want them to be the douchebag role, then be the douchebag role. I mean, hell, they kicked Kenny Omega out of the group. They kicked Hangman out of the group, right? And then they brought in Okada. And then they brought in Jack Perry. And then they needed Hangman back, so they went out and got him again. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we can't burn our friend. Like, no, man, you're conniving little bastards. Be that way.
Yeah, and then the whole situation with Hangman Page is kind of weird. That character is kind of I'm not feeling that character, man.
I don't.
He looks a little bit too. It doesn't look right. I don't know what to think about it. Like, I thought he was actually gonna be there and eventually be like a dark Adam Hangman Page where he's gonna be like an evil guy, but he's even going against the Young Bucks, so you don't know if you're supposed to cheer for him or go against him.
He's supposed to be. I think what he's trying to be more is like a loose cannon per se. You don't know what the hell he's gonna do.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
I think that's what they're trying to get to, where you don't know. He's gonna be unpredictable. You don't know what he's gonna end up doing.
That's crazy.
So, but again, we'll see where it goes, man. This week should be interesting.
And remember, this week again, we're getting Darby Allin versus Hangman Page tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got the card here somewhere. Here it is. So we've got Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer, because Lance Archer's back again for some reason. Like, why do you re-sign here, man? Like, I just leave. Bryan Danielson is to speak. The CMLL World Women's Championship Eliminator, Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander.
Part 3.
Mariah May speaks to Renee Paquette. And you know what's going to happen, right? I think something's going to happen to Renee.
You think
because
so?
her and Tony are friends. So Mariah going to do something and Tony will come save her or whatever. Darby Allin versus Hangman Adam Page, and the conglomeration. Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Tomohiro Ishii versus Roderick Strong, Rush, and the Beast, Mortos. Like, can you just throw 3 guys together?
I like Mortos out there, bro.
Yeah, but you got the Undisputed Kingdom. Why aren't you using them?
Sir, because it makes too logical sense to use them. You don't do that. You got to go Tony Khan style. Just throw anybody out there. Mortos is their fan favorite right now.
Yeah, and Mortos is going to take the pin because they don't want Rush or Roderick to lose. So Mortos is going to take the pin.
Yeah, Mortos has lost like 3. He's lost like 3 straight times already. Mortos.
It's okay. He's going to be that 0 for 95 guy on AEW TV. All right, some no's and notes before we jump over to WWE. Can't believe we spent almost 40 minutes on AEW. Beth Phoenix no longer under WWE contract since July 26th.
Oh,
will she go AEW?
Hopefully not.
And speaking of champions and championships and things making a whole lot of sense, at the Battle of the Belts, Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs win the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions in Texas.
Man, that's how desperate AEW is.
And they presented the titles to their father, Kevin, because they told him they would do that. And again, it is a great story, man. But it's like, and then I also I was watching something and I wanted to get the video, but I couldn't get it downloaded in time. Tony Storm was asked, like, would they rename Ring of Honor AEW Ring of Honor and put it on WBD TV? And he was like, well, we have a lot of our young guys and gals down there because we got rid of Dark and all that. So that's their area to go. And I'm like, wait a minute. Your heavyweight champion is Mark Briscoe. Your women's champion is Athena. Who are the tag team champions now? Is it still Undisputed Kingdom? Who's our Ring of Honor tag team champions?
I don't watch Ring of Honor, to be honest with you.
Then you've got now Dustin and them as the 6-man tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how young are you going here?
I don't know, man.
And then also, to make things even better in the world of Tony Khan, Sammy Guevara returns at the Ring of Honor tapings to save Dustin Rhodes.
He's back, baby. Sammy Guevara. He's back.
He saved them from, I believe it looked like they were fighting the Dark Order. Was who it looked like he saved. I think that was John Silver.
The Dark Order still exists? I haven't seen the Dark Order in a while.
Ring of Honor now, man. Their Evil Uno took them to Ring of Honor. They're running the crap over there, buddy.
Man, it's just wild, bro. It's just too much. And you want to know something, man? And I'm look, man. Look, no disrespect to the wrestling or to the wrestling legends or to any of the wrestling, all the history of wrestling. But you might hate me for this, Sean, but there's a lot of new, younger fans in the wrestling world. A lot of people, with all due respect, either don't know what the Von Erichs was or don't care about the Von Erichs. So
if you're in Texas, it's different. And Texas is different. They were a name and
gotcha.
and that in there. But yes, you're right.
But I'm generalizing it for everybody, right? Yes. For everybody who's trying to watch Collision and Battle of the Belts and all that stuff. That's why you get those ratings, because a lot of people, you're not winning people over bringing in these history of wrestling. Not maybe the old school guys like you and me who know about this, people who and Cap, EA Minutes, a lot of us who are hardcore wrestling fans and we love wrestling and we know the history and we'll tune in and we'll do whatever, we'll watch here and there. But like younger generations, like, I mean, I got a lot of young friends of mine that are like, okay, yeah, I know about the Von Erichs, but dude, that was like years ago. Like, I don't care about that anymore, and that's the problem. You can't. It's nice for us, but if you're trying to grow your fan base, this is not the right way to do it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's history. Maybe they could, wrestle their way to become a fan favorite and stuff like that. But as of right now, you're not gonna. If you're trying to get a pop immediately, you're not, because a lot of people don't find it. Like, hey, I care about it. A lot of the younger generation, in my opinion, a lot of the younger generation is gonna be like, whatever, dude. It's like, that's a regular no match. The Von Erichs, oh yeah. When I ask people about the Von Erichs, like younger generation, like people in their 20s and stuff like that, they're like, oh yeah, that's that movie. That's what they remember, the movie.
Iron Claw.
That's it. That's all they remember.
Although they have been in MLW and they were in Ring of Honor. I mean, the brothers, Ram and the other Von Erich brothers. So, I mean, they have been trying to make the name on their own. The problem that I have with the whole thing is that, like, again, it just felt like, okay, we're in San Antonio, we're in Texas, we're doing all this stuff there. Okay, here's a title for Dustin, and here's a moment for the Von Erichs, and just like they didn't put it on Dynamite, man. Put it on the show where there's going to be eyes. If you want it to mean something to me, then put it on the show that's going to have eyes. Don't put it on the show that's doing the overrun from Collision until 11 o'clock at night. Like, nobody's watching that.
Sounds kind of, it feels kind of disrespectful, don't you think?
Man,
in a way, it does, right?
Like, it just felt like it was like one of those things where it was kind of like, well, let's send the fans home happy. How can we do that? I got it. Let's end the show with Dustin and the Von Erichs winning the title, them presenting the title to their father, and going through the whole history of, they said, again, it was kind of in the movie where they said, we'll be your brothers to their dad, because their dad was crying. He was like, "Today I'm no longer a brother." And as young kids, they said, "We'll be your brothers. We'll win. We'll win titles and we'll present them to you." And now that moment happened. You know what I'm saying? But it happened like for a show that has the platform to make it happen on a bigger scale. You put it on the smallest scale you could have. To me,
maybe
you put it in the 11 o'clock, the 10 to 11 hour Battle of the Belts on a Saturday when your Collision did a 338. So that's your lead into the Battle of the Belts that did a 308. Like,
maybe again, they put it on there because they felt maybe they were able to keep the fans from the Collision to watch Battle of the Belts. Maybe that's the only reason I could think of that
I'm
they put
believing
it
it's
there.
just for that time they're going to be in Texas. You're going to have them defending the titles the whole time they're in Texas, as you know, the hometown kids done good with the veteran Dustin Rhodes. You got the Rhodes and the Von Erichs, two legendary families together. It's a great story in Texas. So that's what I feel like is happening right now.
It's just sad, man. A lot of mm, storylines and decisions that are there for just one show, and then after that they kind of fall out. They kind of fall from the fans. The fans don't care anymore. You understand me? And that's the problem. Like if we come to Florida, I'm pretty sure if they were to come here to South Florida, I don't know which wrestler in AEW is from South Florida, but they'll do their best to try to sell us that wrestler. Kind of like what they did the same thing with
Well, they bring up
that Daniel
Diamante,
Garcia.
as they
Yeah,
did with Diamante.
yeah.
When they
And then
came here, she had I believe that was the one she had a title match with DMD against the Diamante at the James L. Knight Center.
this guy when CM Punk used to go to Chicago, CM Punk.
Right.
When Danny Garcia was in Buffalo, Danny Garcia.
Garcia.
When MJF goes to New York,
It's what you do. It is the independent show go to. Wherever you're at, you have somebody that is from. If you're wrestling in Hollywood, Florida, he's from Hollywood, Florida. If you go follow that same show and they're in West Palm the next night, I guarantee that same guy will be from West Palm Beach,
well,
Florida.
didn't you say that you did that? Did they ask you a
Yeah.
couple times to be
Yeah,
like,
I've been
from a different
somewhere.
place?
When I was first coming in, yeah, I was. There you go, wherever. Let's do it. You're the hometown guy. That's the easy thing to do.
Yeah, because people are gonna cheer, be like, oh yeah, my hometown guy right here.
Yeah.
Just,
And it helps now, like again, Danny Garcia and them have a good build in that area. And now you bring them home and you put them on that bigger. Again, they didn't do that whole thing with Daniel Garcia. They didn't build him up on Rampage, did they? No. They built him up on the Dynamite on Buffalo as everything else. So then the next week, they took him out, not in his hometown. They built him up in his hometown, got the crowd behind him. Everybody started loving the Daniel Garcia train. And then the next week, MJF took him out.
and took him out seriously, like
Yeah.
crazy stuff. It's just,
You know?
man, it's just disappointing, bro. It's like you guys know I'm an AEW guy, and I'm gonna watch, but it's just a lot
I
of
will
things.
watch the shows. It's just, I just cannot, like, look,
Look, they even brought Kip Sapien back.
yeah. But my whole thing is this, like for instance, with WWE, there's certain times where it's like, okay, I'm not leaving the TV right now because I want to see what happens because I know the storyline. For instance, the Judgment Day came back in the clubhouse. I was about to go get a drink. I'm like, nope, because they're going to probably give a little nugget here. Let me wait. Then I waited, got it, and then I went and, whatever. There's times where at AEW, I just feel like I'm not going to miss anything.
No, because they focus so much on, hey, it's all about the wrestling.
We're the best wrestle.
Yeah, but the problem with that is the best wrestle is not gonna get you anywhere because at the end of the day, there has to be more. There has to be more. If you do the same, it's like putting a tape recorder or putting a video cassette, playing the same music, and then turning it around and playing the same music, and then turn it around and playing the same music. You're gonna get tired of listening to it. Eventually, you're gonna move on from it, and that's exactly what's gonna happen with AEW. You could build these crazy ass matches. MJF versus Will Ospreay. That's amazing. But if there's no logic to it, and if you're just selling it just for the wrestling, it'll work maybe the first time, it'll work the second time, but then you'll start seeing it go down and down because people are like, I already saw this. Like you said, at All In, we already saw MJF versus Will Ospreay. I don't need to watch it all over again.
That's
And
why.
it was a hell of a fight.
I know when they said the match, I was like, there's no way they're going to let this happen. And then when it happened, it's like, oh, wait, they're going to let it go 1 hour time limit? And then it was like 2 seconds left, and it's like, wait, they gave the title to what? You know, and then Cap for Life says they're saying MJF and Ospreay match got weak numbers. Is that true? They did over 800 for that time frame. The problem is after their match ended, the numbers dropped, and they ended up with a 795. Theirs stayed above 820 almost the whole hour. And then once that match ended, it plummeted.
And Cap, 800 for MJF versus Will Ospreay. Sean, is that acceptable? Should 800,000 people, is that a good number for those two wrestlers, the talent that they have, the match that they put? Do you think that is justifiable? Do you think 800,000 people should be the only amount of people watching that fight, in your opinion?
No, but I feel like, again, they only promoted it for a week. Like that's the other part about it. It's like, okay, next week it's MJF versus Will. It's like, maybe they should have done the blood and guts the week before and MJF Ospreay, the following week to give it a little bit more build or something. Because look, and then honestly, like, look, for people that are probably like, used to like WWE and stuff, they're probably like me going, there's no way this is really happening on TV. They're probably like, somebody's going to get Daniel. I told you, I text you, I said, hey, just in case it happens, I want to text you before the match starts. Daniel Garcia is going to cost MJF the match. I never saw a title switch. I never saw it going as long as it did. Yeah. But I should have known something because that card only had 3 matches. The last 2 AEW Dynamites only had 3 matches listed. I think this one's only got 3 matches listed. 1, 2, 3. No, sorry, 4 matches listed.
At least they're cutting it short with the matches. They'll probably give you like 20 matches at All In, though.
Oh, at All In? What are you talking about? They're going to be going for what? They're going to go leading into the Taylor Swift concert on the other side of the building.
They better stop on time because don't mess with Taylor Swift. And guys, don't forget to hit the like and also go ahead and hit the subscribe.
Is what you're saying, Cap? Not 6, 7.
If you guys could do us a favor, just for a split second, hit us a like, man, because I'm seeing we barely getting any like here, and we got a couple people watching. So if you could kindly hit a like, bro, it helps our algorithms a lot.
Yeah, please, and hit the subscribe button to either the Stanley Media House Network, Frankie Fresco, wherever you're watching. And if you're on one, switch over to the other. Help out each other. That's what this is about.
Please.
Appreciate you, Cat for Life, no doubt. Already in, Terry in, EA Minutes in. He is the 3rd unofficial podcaster of the group.
Yes.
Oh, EA Minutes, just press like. Luckily, buddy, we're about to send you off.
I like it, EA.
Let's see. Terry says the problem with AEW is that too many of their main event matches on regular TV instead of developing their other mid-card wrestlers. Yeah. Yeah, but again, it's one of those things to where they're trying not to do, they're going to be exactly opposite of what WWE does. And that's considered a WWE move.
And not only that,
but also the other thing, it goes 2 ways because WWE got in the problem when VKM was there of running it week to week. Why? Doesn't matter. You're either going to watch it or you're not. And at that point, they didn't care because they were still getting the numbers on their pay-per-views, which is all that they need. So it didn't matter.
And not only that, Sean, but what happens as well with AEW is that you got these guys going at it, right? You got MJF, Will Ospreay, you got this guy and that guy, right? And you're trying to get numbers for these guys. Imagine if you remove one of those guys and you put like a mid-level guy. The numbers will even plummet even more. Because at the end of the day, that's look, AEW won't run if they lose their TV rights. Like if they can't find a home for viewership, that's when you have to start panicking, Mr. Tony Khan, because that's your bread and butter. You need somebody to sponsor you and be able to show
not only that product. Too, but also think about this now. you know what's happening with the NBA's numbers or with the NBA money? They're leaving TNT. They're leaving Warner Brothers, distribution, WBD. So that money's not going to be there. So how much money does WBD have going into it that they can fork over to a program that isn't bringing in those ratings? And again, it works right now because on Saturdays, they are technically, if you want to get, again, the whole technicality thing, they are one of the most watched programs on Saturday night. But what else is on Saturday night?
Right now, Olympics. I'm shocked that the Olympics haven't.
Oh no, the Olympics. I mean that's but I mean, again, this is where they get the technicality.
But you want to know
because
something?
On Saturday night they talk about things that run continuously.
But you also want to know
what else is on every Saturday night? There's not a lot on.
No, and you know what?
Technically, you're number one of.
And the Olympics are in France, so their prime time, everything is being shown around 4, 5. They end the showing at 4 or 5, so that collision starts at 8. So it doesn't like kind of, what do you call it? Like it doesn't go in between both of them. Like it
doesn't overrun.
There you go. Yeah, it doesn't overrun one with the other. So that's why it doesn't hurt them right now. But I bet you right now, if I had the Olympics going live at 8 o'clock and I had to watch the Olympics or collision, I'll be watching the Olympics.
Oh, please, not even close. I'm going to be watching Mississippi Valley State against Tennessee to Chattanooga, whatever, football over that. Listen, I did 2 weeks in a row of collision, rampage collision of their, watching the show and doing a reaction to it. And I was like, I'm wasting my time. Although I thought the wrestling was getting better, but it's like one, that nobody really watched those anyways, but two, it's just like, if you don't care about your product, why am I going to promote that product?
100%.
At least Dynamite, they
want to know
care about, so I'll talk about Dynamite.
You want to know who
the other ones are? Like passerbys, like, hey, all right, yeah, well,
you want to know?
We don't have much TV time, but we'll put you over on Collision.
You want to know what AEW reminds me of right now? The Miami Marlins. Exactly like the Miami Marlins. They don't care about the product, so they get rid of it. And
but they pay though. That's the thing. We got to find a team that's crappy but pays everybody.
Well, that's true because the Marlins don't pay, but they
Marlins get rid of you.
But they get rid of you because they don't like you. I mean, they get rid of you when they see, oh, we're winning. Oh no, we got to get rid of you.
Whoa! You're pitching way too well.
We're going to trade you.
We're going to trade a starting pitcher for 2 catchers and a right fielder.
You think would the Mets be a good analogy? Because the Mets do spend a little bit of money.
They spend the money. They don't do well.
But they don't let go of their guys.
But it's usually because of injuries, though, that they end up not doing well. The Mets are kind of what the Dolphins have been at the end of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But they get injured like what, that one year, what, Syndergaard? What was that pitching staff they had? Like 3 of them got Tommy John.
Well, everybody gets Tommy John.
Well, no, everybody does, but like in the same year, they had like 3 pitchers. Like it was like the Mets are going to be the greatest staff ever, and injury, and gone.
But at least
injuries have happened to AEW as well.
And they have a very solid fan base. They're loyal to the grave, bro. They're very loyal. The Met fans.
Oh no, yeah, just like AEW fans are.
They're loyal to the grave, bro.
Rightfully so. Again, the inside the rope action, phenomenal. The talent, phenomenal. Storytelling, don't know about.
Terrible. Let's talk about something that does give us some good storytelling. How about we jump into WWE? Can we? Are we done, or we got anything else?
Nope. I think I got everything else now.
I think we got everything.
Yeah. All right, and then we will end it, of course, with our great SummerSlam prediction.
Oh yeah. Look at that horse. We got no doubt saying hooray because we're gonna talk WWE.
This is gonna be our first pay-per-view that starts our we're gonna do like a I mean, again, most of you guys listen to radio down here. Dan Lebatard's done it. I know Tobin's done it as well. Where
the Ring of Death?
We're going to end up doing the Ring of Death type game show here with our selections. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a month worth of pay-per-views, and here's how it's going to work. Stay tuned, and I'll tell you once we go to do the SummerSlam predictions. All right, let's get into WWE.
It's gonna be good.
So my question to you is this. Oh man, I don't know how to ask this.
Wait, don't ask me a SmackDown question because SmackDown was so boring this past Friday. I don't even want to talk about SmackDown.
You know what? That show was recorded. It was terrible. I told you last week. I said I know what the show is, and it doesn't look good. And it didn't. It had its spot with the. I thought the most telling thing was Solo at the end when he said, "Roman, if you have a problem with that, you know where to find me."
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the nugget of like, okay, Roman's coming back. But also the interesting thing, and I can't remember who was asking me on the show or after the show. On the SmackDown before, it's going to be the Bloodline against DIY for the tag team titles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, and the Bloodline's going to be Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, this will get into my question I had, but I think Jimmy Uso returns on SmackDown and costs the Bloodline the tag team titles. And I say this because it's Johnny Gargano's hometown. No way you lose the titles in your hometown. Doesn't happen, man. Does not happen.
Didn't Danny Garcia lose in his hometown?
That's AEW, buddy. We're talking
okay.
WWE.
Okay. I will not say that Jimmy shows up, but I do think DIY will retain the belts.
Wait a minute. So what happens to Jacob Fatu? Because if Jacob Fatu is in this and nobody interferes, Jacob Fatu is winning the tag team titles.
I don't think Jimmy's gonna interfere, but I think what's gonna happen. What I think is gonna happen is I think Cody Rhodes is gonna get involved and stuff like that, and it's gonna be a DQ, so nobody gets pinned. It's just it's DQ'd and they don't lose the belts. I think somebody's gonna.
Let me ask you this though too, because on the same card, it's face to face Solo and Cody, which to me is dumb, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, is it face to face in the ring? Is that what they're doing? Or is it face to face like in a segment?
Face to face. I don't know if they're doing that little thing where they got the two different screens and they'll be like.
Oh, okay, they could do. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't mind that.
Well, if they do that, okay. But if they have them go to the ring and be face to face,
yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that.
Bro,
that kind of sucked. You're kind of diminishing a little bit SummerSlam.
But I think what could happen, and going back to what you were saying, if DIY versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga is the main event, Cody gets involved, it gets thrown out. They, shit can Gargano and Triple H. That's for you, R-Truth. And Triple H there. Ciampa. Couldn't think of his name for a minute. They shit can those two. And now it's the three Bloodline members, or four if you want to throw them all together, kind of circling around Cody. Then send out Jimmy.
That could be a good way to do it. Because then that will be his third helper besides KO and this guy, Randy Orton. Now, what about if you bring Randy Orton and KO back? Randy's been out for like about 3 weeks, right? KO's been out like about a week or so.
The story was going to be they took them out, so it's Cody by himself.
This is the thing,
and my thing is, I'm thinking it's got to be Cody. No Orton, no Owens. It's got to be somebody different, but not somebody that Cody expects. And not saying that Cody is asking them for help, but they end up giving them the help.
What about if Jey Uso comes out?
Hey, they're putting the band back together on Raw, aren't they?
Good. They put Jey
Sammy
Uso
and
out
Jay
there.
are teaming up, man. They're teaming up together over there. They got the whole little slap going together and everything, man. They're oosing and yeeting everywhere.
Damn, they're
over on
everywhere.
Raw. Yeet everywhere.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's PG-13 here.
Yes. So, but And again, it is everybody's there. So technically it's a super show. So yes, Jay could come out, but Jay's not really figured into SummerSlam. So
damn, man, Sean, why you have to say that, man, about Jimmy? Because now you're making me think, and it would make sense to bring him out on Friday.
exactly,
It would.
because then Roman would be the big. But then also, do you throw the appetizer out Saturday where it's Jimmy and everybody's like, oh, damn, it's just Jimmy coming back. And then
You know
boom,
what?
you get the Roman music at the end.
Or you have Jimmy come out on Friday, and then on Saturday, when Roman goes to save Cody. Well, the thing is, you gotta have Cody win because Cody ain't losing the belt
Well,
against Solo.
this is my question I wrote down here.
Because I was gonna think like maybe
Will
Jimmy
WWE have Cody drop the title on Saturday?
can't, bro.
Do they have the huevos to do it?
You can't, dude. You just can't. They're not gonna drop it. Like they're not. I mean,
I don't see how you can, man.
I mean, it would be interesting because you know what you could do. Like if I was writing it right, and you bring Jimmy and you bring Roman back, my thing would be bringing Roman, and so you bring Jimmy on Friday, then you bring Roman on Saturday, and then Roman goes to help Cody, and then all of a sudden Jimmy turns on Roman. That way that throws a curveball because everybody expects, hey, Jimmy, Jay,
Let's do
Sammy,
this.
Cody, all of them are back together. But you throw a curveball and he decides to still stick it out with Solo, and then Solo finally accepts him. Because remember, Solo hit him and smacked him and kicked him out. But now
hit him and smacked him. They beat the crap out of him.
exactly, but it kicked the crap out of him to make sense for him to go ahead and be like, look, I am part of the team, and this is the way I show you guys that I am.
Oh my goodness, you got the gang jumping mentality, huh? Oh,
And
that's
then-
what they're doing.
And then
Blood in, blood out, baby.
and then all of a sudden they're like, yes, that's the Jimmy we wanted, and they bring him on. But then you're making that bloodline way too big now, because now you got
See, here
five
goes
guys.
my thing with it is, and I like what Noel Dowd says, and I'm going to use it in a minute, so don't say it. What if Jimmy comes and helps out Friday, then Jimmy comes to help out Saturday, and the bloodline starts beating them down? They beat down Cody, they beat down Jimmy, they have them both laying, they start to go to raise their fingers to the air, and then you hear, ladies and gentlemen, and Paul Heyman walks out and then introduces Roman Reigns back.
I like it, but I got somewhere to I like to twist it around. So I say Cody Rhodes during SummerSlam, as they're leading up to that match, goes ahead and announces that he's gonna have somebody on his side to help him. And when he comes out and he's about to, when they're about to introduce Cody Rhodes and all that stuff, then the wise man comes out with Cody. So it's Cody and the wise man at the beginning of the match.
Ugh.
Those two guys
I
walking.
mean, there's the respect is there, so it wouldn't be too far off. But I just don't know, like
because
if you
because what happens if
trust
you have
that, though, if you're Cody, you're going to trust Paul Heyman in your corner.
Because this is the thing, when they go and they're gonna attack the wise men, that's when you hit Roman at the end, and he's like, "I'm here to protect the wise men." And then all of a sudden, you
But
have
then where was he in Madison Square Garden when they put the wise man through the table? Why wasn't he there to protect them then?
He was not there. He just wasn't there at that time. He just wasn't there at that time. He had other. He was still down. He was
Priorities.
Still
He had priorities.
he had other priorities. Yeah, exactly. He had other priorities. Would it be a bad concept? I like your concept too. I'm not gonna lie. It makes sense. It makes sense what you're saying. Jimmy comes, helps Cody. I'm sorry.
Because remember, the big four pay-per-views, there's always, because remember, this wasn't it SummerSlam last year, or was it Survivor Series?
That what?
Survivor Series, wasn't it? With CM Punk?
Yeah, it was Survivor
It
Series.
was kind of like the show had ended, everybody was leaving the cage, and then all of a sudden it was like, I even think Michael Cole said, "Hey, we'll see you guys Monday on Raw." And then you saw the little thing on the bottom, and then you hear, darn it, and it was CM Punk. Like, I just feel like the big four, you always get that. I mean, Royal Rumble's a little different because it's always the person that wins pointing at the champion or things like that. So you can't really do it there. But Man,
What Cap says is not a bad idea either. Cody's about to lose, and then you got Roman, Jimmy, and Zilla all coming out at the same time.
yeah, but see, I don't know if Zilla's at that point yet, man. And then also remember, Hikuleo
He's injured, right?
is signed too, and I believe he's going to end up being with part of Solo. He's brothers with Tama and Tonga. So again, that's kind of where I thought they were going, but then Jacob Fatu ended up showing up and being part of that group, and that there's things where maybe people move or people shift. I don't know. Zilla will be involved in this at some point, I believe. I just don't know. He just won a title at, I think it's Hog Wrestling is where he was at. So I don't know that at this point that's where he's going to be at.
Let me ask you something.
I feel like him and Lance and Anoa are a little bit out right now. They'll be a part of it, but later.
Let me ask you something, man. Once this bloodline, obviously you start bringing all these guys from, generations, and you're bringing them all. Can this kind of backfire in the long run for WWE? That means, we know that Solo's still going to be really good. Jacob Fatu is going to be really good. But let's say, for example, Zilla, right? Let's say, for example, Tongaloa, and some of these guys, they might fall off,
You cut them.
So you keep them there for a while, and then you cut them.
You keep them for what you need, and then you get rid of them. Just like, for instance, they're working the whole thing about the eye because they don't feel that Tongaloa's ready for that, and Jacob Fatu moved into it. Because they see what Jacob Fatu can do, and they're like, well, dude, we're not going to have him standing outside and have Tama Tonga and Tongaloa being in the ring when we have Jacob Fatu here tearing the shit up. So now he's wearing the eye badge because, I really think he probably poked him in the eye after watching it.
I think so too.
But I don't think it's as bad as, where they're keeping him out of action and things like that. I think it has more to do with, they're not liking where he's at.
Yeah, because he looks kind of lost out of
he's a little bit off. He's a little bit behind. You can tell. And again, I said it the same thing about Jade when she works. Like when she's in control and she has that confidence, you can see it. It just oozes out of her. Problem gets to is when you're in WWE, it's about selling. It's facial expressions. It's okay, they're working my shoulder. I got to remember to sell that shoulder. Those things. And you start thinking about it, and then you forget the simple shit that you're supposed to be doing. Footwork, things like that. That's where the problems start. And you can see it sometimes for him as well. He'll move a little slower. Same with Jade. She's great when she's in control. When she has to sell and do things and act like she's still injured instead of just popping up and doing the flex, she's still a little bit slow on some of those things.
But did you see what they did this past weekend? They actually, because usually what happens is Jade Cargo comes out for like a split second, and then Bianca Belair comes
all the way to the ring, and then Bianca came.
They allowed her to go all the way to the ring. That's when I was saying to myself, I was like, man, I think WWE is realizing that maybe people are catching on. Like the Squared Circle Digest is calling us out that we're kind of letting Jay do her thing. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're like, okay, wait, hold on a second. Let's try to push it. Because I saw that. I noticed that. I was like, damn, they let her go all the way to the ring, flex, and then they hit Bianca Belair's music, and then she came out. So it looks like they're trying now to sell it to us because I think people are criticizing them, saying, hey, you're kind of putting in the back burner Jade Cargo, and we know that she's a talented girl, but something's not right. You see something, and the fans are starting to notice it. At least you and me noticed it. And not only that, but the chapter
I think it's something too. And again, if it's not what everybody's seeing, it's something you can play into a storyline to where, oh, you guys always push Bianca because you didn't believe in me. Whether it's right or wrong, again, it's in the eye of the beholder. For instance, the AEW story with Hangman Adam Page. He thinks he's right. He's walking through the good guys' entrance because he don't feel he's doing anything wrong. It's everybody else doing the stuff to me. So you could end up rolling that into, this whole angle with Bianca and Jade when you want to do that. Again, not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but when you want to, again, you have that there because again, if it's not there, it sure looks like it. It looks like you're trying to protect Jade. That's all I'll say on that.
Gotcha.
So you don't think Cody loses the belt on? Well, we'll discuss in our predictions.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Let's wait for our predictions, and then we got to also do the whole thing about our regulations because for every match there's a winner and there's a loser. So we'll discuss those. I came up with the plan all by myself. The rules are all mine.
He did.
The rules are all mine. I haven't even told. Everything's full straight surprise to that man right there right now.
He's trying to screw me over.
I'm trying to get
you want to know something? You know what? You created this, right? We talked about this.
We talked about the creation of it, yes.
So if we run out of whatever the list is afterwards.
Well, as a matter of fact, real quick, everybody listening, start putting in things that we can do as punishments. And again, remember, we're on YouTube. We're not going to do anything like super stupid, but any punishments you think you can do,
any
put it in the comments.
Type of
and if you're following on social media, hit us up on our DMs. I'm at Sean_Stanley11. He is at
Frankie Fresco.
So, or Fresco YouTube. Music, right? Too, right?
Or Fresco Music, yeah.
Yeah,
Fresco Music. Fresco Music is on social, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, but let's do this. Once you came up with these, right? Mm-hmm. Either number 2, if we start removing one, you should allow me to implement.
Oh, I haven't put any punishments in yet.
Oh, okay.
I thought you did already. No. No punishments done yet. No punishments
without my consent, because I was like, "Damn, you're really trying to punish me."
We won't have punishments until we're technically considering this August. We're gonna put this in because this is August 3rd is the pay-per-view. So the month of August are the pay-per-views that we're gonna start with. So in September will be our first punishment to whoever loses.
Correct.
The most.
And this is both AEW and WWE.
AEW, WWE. If we throw in the TNAs, we got it all. We got it all.
Good.
All right. Also, Jesse Ventura showed up on Raw. How about that? How about them apples?
Man, when I saw Jesse Ventura, man, he looks a little bit rough. Like, dude, he's lost a lot of weight.
He's like 80 or 90 years old, man. He's not just a body anymore.
I know. But I remember Jesse Ventura when I think he was running for, like, when he was a politician and stuff. And man, he's up there, bro. Like, I saw him and I was like, damn.
Did you see his post on X?
No, what did he say?
He says, "Why did I come back? For moments like these at WWE, at CM Punk." It's him and CM Punk talking ringside.
I like it, man. Well, CM Punk was at First Take today.
Yeah. He did his Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers. His top 5. I'm sorry, his top 5. He had a good top 5. A little bit different.
It was okay. I like Roddy Piper.
Yeah. But again, he said mine's not based on,
correct,
like things. This is how I.
Yeah.
So
he did. But let me ask you this.
And Cat for Life SmackDown needs something. Look, here's where the problem relied. I think they put everything into the trip going to Japan, and they were like, look, right now our storylines are kind of producing themselves, so let's just not try to overhype anything and mess something up. So the week that they recorded was just very simple. Very, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing over the top. They even did the Cody Rhodes was recorded in Japan at a bar in Japan or wherever, the lounge in Japan where they were at. So, I mean, it is what it is there. The other thing I want to talk about is the CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins rules and regulations laid out by Seth Rollins. The only regulation is you listen to what Seth freaking Rollins says. And basically, if he wants to count you out, he will. If he wants to count the 3 count, he will. If he doesn't, then he's not. It just basically
it feels like you're upset at that because you're like
I'm upset with the whole thing about Seth being involved. You know how I feel about this, man.
Yeah.
I felt like those two created such a freaking firestorm that now you've thrown in Seth, and again, they said the same thing that we've said. It makes sense from the storyline perspective. Drew hates Seth. Drew hates CM Punk. CM Punk hates Seth. CM Punk hates Drew. Seth hates CM Punk. Seth hates Drew. None of them get along. Not like anybody's sitting there, but it's like it just feels like you're waiting for that thing to where you're just not going to get the winner like I'd want the fight to be.
And not only that, you're also kind of in a way, who is he going to side with? Is he going to side with Drew McIntyre? Is he going to side with CM Punk? Is he going to screw both of them? I like that concept.
If he screws both of them, then what is the next pay-per-view we decided? It was
Bash at Berlin is the next one.
Bash at Berlin is August 31st.
Correct.
So if he does that, you get a 3-way there, or do you wait until Bad Blood? No, but Bad Blood's is in October, right? October 3rd or October 5th or something like that. So I don't think you wait that long for Bad Blood in Atlanta.
No, but you could do Bash in Berlin, because that one you would have to give the edge to Drew McIntyre, wouldn't you? You would.
But I almost feel like at this point, like you wouldn't do a 3-way. You'd almost do an eliminator match. And what you do and what they've done before is that beat the clock challenge that WWE's so famous for. Like you have 5 minutes to beat your opponent, and whoever does it quickest gets a bye. So then the other two would have to fight first, and then the other one would only have to fight once. And you do like a pin. So everybody's got to get pinned, basically, and have one person standing at the end.
Could do that.
But again, that'd be, I think, a little bit much. But here was my favorite part of the interaction. I love that, man. When he's like, I have the heart. I have the people. What do you have? And he just holds up the bracelet, man. Bro, I was like, dude. Well,
I was expecting,
shit, man.
I was expecting Michael Cole to name drop Jack Perry, but he didn't do it.
He did on the way to the ring. He's like, this man made news this week on social media by going back into CM Punk's past.
Yeah, but he didn't name drop Jack Perry. I wanted him to drop Jack Perry.
That was good stuff, man.
But let me ask you something. Did he delete that tweet afterwards?
Maybe, I don't know. He might have gotten in trouble for it.
Yeah, I think they made.
You're not gonna sit out there and promote It was cool for a minute, like to be like, oh damn.
The reason I say that, Sean, is because
Jack Perry might have asked him to delete it.
Could have.
Either way. I mean, it
could have.
Not saying either way. I'm just saying one way or the other. It was probably thought of like, hey, this is not.
But the reason I say it is because when I saw him, I sent it to you. Remember, I think I sent it to you. And then all of a sudden I tried to repost it, and then I saw it deleted. And I was like, wait, what happened? And I think he took it down. And I was like, damn, they either made him take it down, because I don't think he wanted to take it down. They either made him take it. I thought WWE made him take him down. That's what I thought.
More than likely, it probably was. I would say, because
you're promoting AEW too.
You're like, let him keep that shit up.
Yeah.
You got more followers than we.
Yeah, AEW would be like, hell yeah, keep it coming. But WWE is like, yeah, we don't need to give AEW we don't need to do them any favors.
Yeah, I mean, the guy almost got lit on fire. I mean, that got him more views than him being lit on fire.
Yeah, actually, on September 1st is No Mercy. Is it No Mercy? Oh, but that's an NXT. You're right. I do like the fact that they are bringing some of these old pay-per-views back.
Yeah,
the names of them. That's pretty cool. I like that.
And they're actually bringing back another one of the old WCW ones too. I can't remember the exact name.
Is it Halloween Havoc?
No, that's been back. It was another one.
Because the ones I see here is they have SummerSlam, Bash at Berlin, No Mercy, Bad Blood, Halloween Havoc, Crown Jewel, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam is the only thing I see right now.
Yeah, well, Bad Blood was an old WWE one. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of that they brought back for.
Because Halloween Havoc used to be WCW. I remember.
Yeah, but they've had that for a little bit because the last 2 years, Shotzi has hosted it. So it's been around for at least like 2 or 3 years.
What has happened to Shotzi? I haven't seen.
She got injured, and I'm not sure where she's at on there.
Name.
The Rhea thing was a little bit weak this week, I thought.
I like the trashing of their room. That was pretty cool.
I thought that was pretty cool, the whole thing there. I did like both promos. I liked all the promos they cut Gunther, Damian, Braun, Liv, Rhea. I really enjoyed like just the depth that they went to from a production standpoint, and then also, just again, Rhea's was done in the clubhouse after it had already been destroyed. Just little things, little nuances and things there. The D+R tattooed under her face.
I
don't know
saw
if you
that.
saw that. Yeah.
No.
So, they're just little things. Liv, the mascara running down, looking like she hasn't slept in a week or so, and she's burning Dom's stuff.
Yeah, she threw his shirt on
Yes,
the,
the
on
more
the
I look
garbage,
at
right?
it, the more I'm going, this motherfucker, he's gonna turn. He's gonna do it. I don't know if it's happening this week.
What do you think was
Down
better?
the line,
What do you
I
think?
feel like he's going to end up doing it, and I feel like this is the way it's gonna go. Right? Rhea was like, why is Carlito still here? So there's something going on there. Like there's a disconnect. I don't know where that is or what the disconnect with Carlito and the whole thing is. I know he was upset that the PlayStation's gone. And you know what I didn't notice, and this has been interesting, and I
Well,
read it on X.
Before you
Did you
continue,
know, and when they were playing the PS5, they were always beating up on Jey Uso
oh no, I didn't
in
see
the
it. I didn't know
background.
that.
If you watched it, it was always Jey Uso.
But before you say that though,
Mm-hmm.
I think Cat for Life got it right. I think it's the Great American Bash. Is that the one that you're referencing that was being used on NXT?
And
that
they
used to.
brought that back last year, I believe.
Oh, that was the one because that used to be WCW too, right? The Great American Bash used to be WCW. No?
Yeah, no. A lot of them were because Dusty
Yeah.
created the Great American Bash. He created Fall Brawl. He created War Games. He created a lot of those were Dusty's creations,
Okay.
which is why they are staying as kind of like a tribute to him in
I'm not gonna lie, Sean. You like I'm gonna have to start looking at these things a lot because you noticing that I never noticed that, and you're paying
What?
you pay more attention to this stuff like at the PS5, the video game.
Well,
than
no, that was totally on X. Again, I fall down rabbit holes every once in a while, and I go like because I'll look at things and I'll be like, oh, this person's only got 25 followers, okay, but I look at what they post, and then when they post it and they put the little caption at the top, it's like, look at this thread. And it's a thread of the things, and it was them beating up on Jey Uso as they're talking in there.
That's clever, man.
And I was like, damn, okay, all right. So, again, little thing, I don't pick up on that. It's pointed out.
I thought you picked up on it.
No,
I was like,
I'll see it. I'll see like little things where I'm kind of like, boom. And then when I saw it, I was like, So then I saw that, and then I went through, and there's people that pick up on it a lot. It's just little things because unfortunately for me, like I have a very
like I pick up the
I'm like
simple stuff.
Squirrel, man. If you something flashes in front of me, I'm like, oh, what the hell just happened? I'll forget what the hell I was doing, man. I'm that way. But when I do catch something, then I'm like, oh man, let me keep an eye on that.
Yeah, like the Bianca Belair Jade Cargo. That I caught that.
There's things that stick out to me, but like, dude, I don't watch the PlayStation 5 what they're playing. Like there's people that sit there and zoom in on certain things, like people standing on the apron, like, oh, look at the facial expression. I wonder if they're going to do a turn. And then it's like, I wonder if that was meant for something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
It's just those little things that like little nuances. Like some people are great at picking that stuff up. I'll pick up on some things, but I'm not that where I'm looking at a PS5 going, who the hell is that? First off, on my TV, I don't think I got good enough. I'm not in 4K to where it looks as crisp as on the one in my office. It's not 4K. It doesn't look so crisp. But I couldn't have told you that was Jey Uso wrestling on that game at all.
That's crazy.
But when you look at all the little things that they did, like, and it's funny, as No Doubt says, it's Carlito Mole. Carlito got mad when they took it. Yeah, it was great. And then also when he goes, Dominic tells him, go to Pierce and make a match with Sami Zayn. Okay. He comes back and he goes, hey, I got you your match with Sami Zayn. Dom's like, no, it was you. He said, no, you said a match with Sami Zayn. I got you a match. And they're like, okay, then you got Jey Uso. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay. And to be honest, I thought they gave Carlito a lot more than I thought he would get. I honestly thought he was going to do something and catch a spear and a splash and it'd be over, but he got a lot of in. Then he bites the apple, gets speared, and luckily he didn't choke on the apple, and Jey Uso wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Judgment Day attack. Here comes Sami Zayn out, and everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. The Wyatt Six unmasked. Dexter Lumis kind of scared the shit out of me. Not gonna lie.
Did
I
you
did
like
not
that?
expect that look from him. I was kind of like, "Whoa, that's a little bit different."
Did you like the fact that they unmasked themselves and that they're actually fighting next week Saturday? I mean, next week SmackDown. I mean, next week Monday Night Raw. My bad. Next week Monday Night Raw. Like, wouldn't you have saved it for SummerSlam? Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be the summer. Again, I told you, I feel like they're going to be the buildup to who fights Uncle Howdy at the pay-per-view. That's how I think it's going to be built up.
So you think there's gonna be a fight made out of next week? Well, no, you can't because this Saturday is
Yeah,
SummerSlam.
no. That they'll happen after the summer. SummerSlam's done. Like I honestly thought maybe they could push something to SummerSlam. But again, WWE's been keeping it about 5-6 matches and get in and get out. They've been doing like 3-hour pay-per-views, 7 out at 10, an hour pro and done by 11. It's been like clockwork. So we'll see how it goes. And I think you're gonna get the same thing this time.
Yeah.
So but I did like it. I did like the Dexter Lumis video. So when he's the buzzard and they're like, what happens when the buzzard circle? And he's like, run. It's little things because again, little subtle tributes to, of course, Bray Wyatt. The interesting thing I saw, and I want to get your take on this because actually not your take, but your input, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the second week in a row, or maybe even the third week in a row, there's been no lantern.
No. But
so has that been taken out now after they did the introductions the 2 times? Now, that was kind of Bray's thing. So now they're not going to do the lantern.
Could be.
So I'm just wondering, again, something small I saw and I was like, I wonder how long it's been. I did go back 2 shows and it wasn't on the week before either. So, and now I'm remembering back the third, I don't think it was on, I think it's been about 3 weeks now. So we'll see who's going to be the last member. I still don't know that there's going to be a last member or how it works out. I don't know. I know it's called the Wyatt and they spell out sick and then the number 6. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be 6. Or does Bo Dallas count as 2? Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy.
Yep.
Is that your 6th member? Again, I don't know. I just know that they wanted to get rid of kind of the supernatural element so they could work it into the storylines. And I think they've done a good job at doing that. I want to see how it plays out more now. Because again, as I always said, the same thing, with before was once they wrestle, everything else changes. Everything else changes. Because remember when the Wyatt family came in, Rowan and Harper were monsters. And then they got in the ring and they were monsters at the beginning and then they started losing. And then it lost that effect. And that's going to be the interesting thing to see how they play out. Because again, Bo Dallas can get beat up. To me, Uncle Howdy can't. That's just the way I look at it. Because Uncle Howdy makes him different than when he's just Bo.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the Hulk in a way, where you beat up on Bo, all of a sudden he turns green, and now the Uncle Howdy mask comes on, and there you go. But it's going to be very interesting because I did see, the cult-like look as far as Gacy, Loomis, Rowan. It's kind of like the cult leader, and that's who they are kind of becoming, especially now when you saw him unmasked, especially Loomis. I was like, wow, that's a drastic change from what he used to be. Everybody else you could look at and be like, okay, Loomis, until you zoomed in kind of to see his face, you're kind of like, what the hell? With the braids and things. And again, I think most of that's probably what the fake braid stuff, right? That's not, I don't think that's his real hair. I think he just the extensions or something is what they did for him there. What else was there on Raw? Wasn't a lot, man. I mean, again, these last 2 Raw and SmackDowns were pretty basic, and I believe it was basic because, again, a lot of them flew back in from Japan basically Sunday morning. So that was sorry.
You had a little bit of Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker as well.
Yeah, he did have that. And then the one thing too told me was it is happening. It will happen. Sami Zayn will lose the title to Braun Breaker. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree with
the fact that Sami Zayn stood in the middle of the ring on Raw and held up the title was the kiss of death.
The other thing that we also saw on Monday night was Damage Control coming at that new group as well, which is the Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and
after they're fresh off their big Japan show, they did return, and they've all got the little logo now or something under their eye. But my question is this: what the hell's up with the Charlie's Angels thing?
What do you mean the Charlie's
Angels? Or did they mess up? All right, so at the end of their, they did it. Io Sky goes to her eye and holds it up like this.
Really? I need to look
but
at
everybody else was kind of like the Charlie Angel gun. So I was like, which one's it supposed to be? Because she kind of went up under her eye where the logo was. Oh, so you can see on camera. And the logo was like right there. But then the other ones kind of crossed their arms and did like the Charlie Angels type thing. So
I didn't know them.
Yeah, little things. And it might not be nothing. It might just be something that, because sometimes they'll throw something out there to see if it works. If it doesn't, then all right, we won't do it again. If it does, then we'll see. So let's see what we got here. I'm trying to find the card real quick. I got it right here. Okay. All right. So SummerSlam.
Let's do it.
Right around the corner. All right. So basically, the way we're going to do this is
prediction time, baby.
Prediction time. But since we're doing this, punishments, if you lose, we can't have the same person. So one of us gets to pick first, and the other one's got to take the other person by default. Now, that's for the game. It might be different. Your pick might be different than what it is. So you can still say your pick there. But if I pick first and say I take CM Punk, you're stuck with Drew McIntyre. Although you could come on and be like, in real life, your real prediction is this. But in the game, if I choose one, you have to take the other. If you choose one, I have to take the other. So we're going to alternate the picks.
You want to do it like that?
What else are we going to do, man? If we have the same picks over and over, we're always going to end up being the same because we always think the same.
Well, the overall, we could be like whoever wins the overall.
Punishments going on. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take Logan Paul because I want to.
Okay.
Carlito's not a mole. He's more like a worm in the apple that he spits out, ironically. Look at Karun. Welcome back, buddy.
Did you see how he spit that apple? He was going to spit on Jay, and then it was just terrible.
Yeah. Did you notice Jey Uso is not coming through the crowd anymore?
Yeah, I did.
I wonder what happened.
And did you see that they're not lighting up as much anymore, the lights on Jey Uso when he comes out? Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Maybe that mad Rikishi talking shit hurt his son now.
I noticed that
trying to get my son divorced.
the fans are dedicating the Fireflies directly to the White Six, not anymore to Jey Uso. I noticed that.
Well, he gave it to him. He said, take everything. Take it all. I don't want it. I don't want that on me.
Take it the same way that Liv Morgan destroyed the
oh, so good.
Wait, Sean, let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Did Liv Morgan destroy their area?
It's being here's the interesting thing.
Or was it Dom?
Well, again, it was never said it was Liv. It was just Liv stuff everywhere.
Because if you look at Dom doesn't look that
Dom
surprised.
was not upset about it at all.
And he was not upset. So could it be that Dom and Liv did it together?
Or Dom did it to help out Liv. So
Remember,
Liv didn't have to be there.
if you also look at
Or
something,
did Finn do it? Or did JD do it? Like this is where I can tell you now, Damian and Rhea are the only two that are together.
yeah, of course.
Like those are the two you can go, okay, those they got each other's back. Everybody else right now, and whether Dom's that guy or not, I don't know yet. But like, I don't trust any of them.
I agree. I only trust Rhea and Damian Priest, but I also, well, I guess after this past Monday, I don't trust Carlitos too, because Carlitos was a little bit like he even got the matches incorrect. Like he
they're all out for themselves.
Correct.
Like even Finn Balor was like, "No, I don't want your guys' help." Are you saying I can't do this on my own?
Correct.
Nobody said that. They just were like, and then now he gets choked out. So now I'm wondering what's the fallout from that whole, the main event. Like, you guys weren't there for me. You told us not to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's coming next. Even though JD and them weren't there either. So
no. And if you look at the video where Liv is burning Dom's shirt, and the shirt that she was wearing with Dom is in the background, right? And then
the truck. It was the truck picture of Dom,
which is the same truck that appears when Finn Balor and JD were walking together at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things coincide with one another, and you're like, man, what's going on here? It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things that throw everything, because now your mind is going 200 miles an hour trying to think like, okay, is she with Finn and JD? Is she with Dom? Is Dom gonna turn on Rhea? And then ultimately nothing happens, and you're like, damn it.
Let me ask you something, Sean. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that you like these things, right? You like these nuggets, right?
I love them, man. I love them because half the time I will miss them the first time. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Why?
I miss them more than most.
I'm so shocked. I'm being honest with you. I'm so shocked that you love this, but you don't love or haven't watched the Marvel whole series, because there's nuggets in every single movie.
Yeah, but and again, the interesting thing is a lot of this happened when they signed that guy. The producer is from the Marvel Universe and ESPN.
Yeah.
And you've seen that input now with the way they've done the setup now before the pay-per-views, the little nuggets that they're dropping here and there by, what Cody and them were fighting in the rain. Like it gives it a different feel, man. Because every time you look at something, you're like, does that mean something or not? Did they say? There was about 3 times last night I rewound back because I was like, oh, that was something. And then I rewound it back and I'm like, that was nothing. Never mind. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's always something there. And then sometimes I feel like they're setting you up to, like, you feel like it's like, okay, it's set up for where Dom is going to be the one to turn on Rhea. But then I look at it and go, what if, we talked about this actually last week when you said, what if Dom accidentally costs Rhea the match at SummerSlam or makes it look like an accident? But what happens if he really does accidentally cost her the match? Which one actually does more harm in the eyes of everything or in the storyline? Like, for instance, he slides the chair in, Rhea goes to get it, but he gets face planted by Liv. And Liv can play it off and be like, blowing kisses to Dom. Dom could be like, no, it wasn't for you. But is Rhea going to believe that?
They could go so many ways, man. It's so good.
And then ultimately, Rhea, Dom is fighting, trying to get Rhea back again, which he just got her back. And he said, look, I'm not yours, you're mine. Remember, she said that, you're mine.
And not only that, but all the facial
whole
expressions.
Judgment Day thing has been like,
And-
once we get past SummerSlam, then we'll worry about Jey Uso. Like Jey Uso's still there. That whole storyline there is there too.
And not only that, man, but even though last week Dom said I hate you and all this stuff, leading up to that particular night, there was just too much chemistry going on. Did you see their body language one with the other before that? It's just so weird for him to just go ahead and throw all that away leading up to eventually not turning on Rhea, whether it's accidental or whether he does it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's going to be the thing. Like that's going to be the whole funny part of this story is if he does do that at SummerSlam, was it an accident?
if I was WWE, I'll make it an accident. Because
I'd make it definitely look like
I could drag this.
Becomes the thing, yeah. Because
you drag the story a little bit more.
Did he mean to do that, or was that
And then once he officially turns, then you could go back in time and show when Dom destroyed the room and all this stuff with Liv.
Here's the other
and then it all makes sense. You're like, holy crap!
If in fact, say it is Finn Balor doing this, okay. What happens if Finn comes out to help Rhea or make it look like he is, and he's basically manipulating the situation and make it look like Dom's costing her, when in actuality it's Finn doing it?
Could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, make it look like it's been all Dom's, because then now you get back to Judgment Day on Raw, and Finn's like, well, Dom's the one that cost you. I was out there helping you. He's the one that messed up. He cost you. And then now you're watching the whole thing unfold, and it's really, Finn manipulating the situation. Was it Finn that actually destroyed? Again, it could go any way. That is what, to me, is the whole thing. Could it be Carlito? He acts so dumb. Could he be the one that's ultimately manipulating the whole thing?
That could be
tearing it all down from the inside.
Man, I'm telling you, Sean, man, you need to start watching these Marvel comic books, bro. Like, you would fall in love with this, because in every single movie there is nuggets of stuff that you're like, holy crap, this could happen, that could happen. Because you the way you think is the way that Marvel producer does in all those Marvel movies, literally. And look, even Karun said it. I thought the ending of the Endgame was a copy of what happens in wrestling. That's so funny. Good guy gets beat up. When all hope is lost, he has an unexpected backup and faith is restored, which is true.
Yeah, that's the Dusty Rhodes story right there. 4 Horsemen always beating him up when he needed to. He brought in the Road Warriors.
There you go.
Magnum TA gets into a car accident. He brings in the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff, who nobody saw coming. Like things like that has always been, it's a wrestling thing, man.
Yep.
And it's going to be very interesting. All right, so we'll switch it up then. So
how are we gonna do with the summer?
We're just gonna pick our picks, and if we have different ones, that's when we'll mess up. That'll be the mess, because there's a couple matches here. There are a couple matches here that could go either way.
But why don't we? Okay, so let me ask you. So let's say if we have matching exactly the same, then one of us can switch, like at least one match. That way we could go ahead.
Yeah, you can switch. Okay, perfect. Good. I'm glad you volunteered.
I'll switch. That's fine. I'll make it happen.
No, man, we'll go with it. I'm sure we're gonna have some things to where I'll think too much into it, or maybe I'll talk you out of it and change you into something else to where I can manipulate you, like Carlito's doing the whole the thing.
Yeah, manipulating me.
I want to know where the damn nuggets were this week.
Of what?
The tenders. Sorry, chicken tenders. Sorry, tenders. Tendies. Sorry, not tendies. Nuggets. Not nuggies. Tendies.
Tendies.
All right. First match. Well, I don't know about first match of the night, but the only match.
You know what? Let's do that. How about we add that to spice it up? We guess what is the first match that's gonna happen and what's gonna be that will help it out too.
All right, let's go with we'll go. That'll be the tiebreaker. How about that?
There you go. We could do that.
That'll be the tiebreaker.
That's interesting.
All right, we'll do those tiebreakers. All right, so let's go with the matches first. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. What say you, Frankie Fresco?
Oh man, this is a tough one, man. I hate the fact that Seth Rollins is wearing those leather pants as a referee. I hope he doesn't wear those leather pants again.
Well, I just hope he can count with the shoulder poofs that he's got, the shoulder puffs he's got on.
No, it looked terrible. I don't know. He looked.
Fantastic. Look like a Yankee running around out
He
there.
was terrible.
Like a
I was like, I hope he doesn't come
pinstripe.
with that same.
All those pinstripes.
I'm gonna say this. You know me. I am. You know who I am, and that guy right there, baby. That guy right there will take that dub. He was at First Take. He was promoting it. He was saying that this was the best card, even better than WrestleMania. So I'm gonna go and say CM Punk figures out a way to win over Drew McIntyre. And plus Bash in Berlin is probably where Drew might be able to win. So I say CM Punk wins.
You know what's funny is I'm kind of going with no doubt here. Like I don't think either one of them is going to win. How about that for a thing there? But man, I don't know which way to go here because I feel like Punk needs to get the win because he's returning. But McIntyre needs the win because like it's almost like okay, he comes back, but then again, that's why Seth is there, right? Because now you cheat whoever you lose, and it doesn't really hurt either one because it's going to be Seth costing them the match. So I'm going to go with the lesser of two evils, and I'm going to make this our first disagreement. I'm going Drew McIntyre.
I like it.
All right. The next one, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
You go first.
Cat for life. Yes, she took the platter.
Why don't you go first on this one? Because I went first on the last one.
All right. I'll make it very simple, man. Like, I feel like this is setting up for Braun Breaker to win the Intercontinental title. You ask me why? Because Jey Uso is now going to become the focus of the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day, who has the tag team titles, and Sami Zayn can't be the Intercontinental and tag team champion at the same time. So he's going to have to be one title, which means I believe he loses the IC title to Mr. Braun Breaker. I'm taking Braun Breaker in this match.
Okay, so you go with Braun Breaker. Let me write this down. I have to write it down because I don't want to, I trust you, but it's always good to trust and verify. So I have to make sure I write my, especially since now we got the Ring of Death. All right. Braun Breaker, baddest man in the planet, right? He lost against Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank. He fought his way back fighting Ilya Dragunov to be the number one contender again, and now he has a shot again at Sami Zayn. If you're trying to build Braun Breaker as the baddest man on the planet, you can't have Braun Breaker lose twice. I'm gonna also agree with you. I think I have Braun Breaker winning this. I think Sami Zayn had the first one. Braun Breaker wins the second one. Just I can't see Braun Breaker losing it twice. I got Braun Breaker as well, sir.
All right. It is the WWE United States Championship. Logan Paul versus L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Okay. This one's interesting, okay? Because I'm a big LA Knight fan.
Yeah.
But I also feel that they do like a lot Logan Paul. It isn't Cleveland, it's in his hometown, but he's a heel in his hometown.
Yeah. And that's happening on SmackDown too, by the way. The homecoming celebration of Logan Paul.
You know,
nothing go wrong.
LA Knight has been haunting Paul for a long time. I remember he broke into his house.
No, he didn't break into his house. He went and visited him. Okay, he was a friend.
He was visiting as a friend. Okay, he was in the pool. He was in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of things. They had the signing of the contract.
Yeah.
I can't go with Logan Paul, man. I gotta go with my boy. Let me talk to you to represent the show tomorrow, 8:00. I go with LA Knight, baby. I say LA Knight defeats Logan Paul. Logan Paul has been the champion for way too long. LA Knight wins.
Yeah, I agree with you. LA Knight wins, and this is why. We talked about this actually last week as well. Cody Rhodes will need opponents. It looks like it's probably going to be the Civil War with the Bloodline. So you eliminate them. You have to have a heel unless you bring Kevin Owens or you switch Randy at SummerSlam, which again, maybe not out of the line, but the easy built-in one right now would be you take the title off of LA Knight, and he says, good, I'm glad you took the title away from me, LA Knight. Now I can focus on the biggest title of them all, Cody Rhodes. So now you've built in an opponent for Cody, one that you can just simply slide in because he's an arrogant fool and he becomes instant heat. So I'm going to go with LA Knight as well. And I believe that Logan Paul will probably be the opponent in Berlin. How about them apples?
I like it. I like it.
All right. The undisputed. Wow. This definitely isn't in order. Definitely not in order. The undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. What say you, Frankie Fresco?
Oh, you're making me go first. You know what, man? We spoke about it earlier. There's no way I could see Cody Rhodes losing the belt. I'm sorry. Not to Solo. Solo is just not there yet. He called out Roman Reigns.
Cody said he was there.
Yeah, no.
On the promo. He said, now I believe you're there.
No, he's trying to sell it, but he ain't selling. I ain't buying it. Solo is going ahead and calling out Roman Reigns. This is where Roman Reigns shows up. You can't call Roman out and not show up, Roman. So you better be out there, Roman. If not, it's gonna be a huge letdown. But I just don't see Cody losing this. Some way, somehow, okay. So this is what I think is gonna happen. Solo, Bloodline, they get involved. Cody needs some help. I think Jimmy makes his way back, gets involved. They're beating up on Jimmy, and that's when the song hits, and it's Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman coming out together and rescuing Jimmy and letting Cody go one-on-one with Solo, which then allows Cody to pin Solo. So Cody Rhodes wins.
So here's where I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to disagree with you. So no is not winning the title. Cody Rhodes wins the match. Okay. But to me, the ending is a little different. Roman comes out, makes the save, and Cody's doing his babyface Rocky where he's coming up the ropes and he's stumbling back. The title's laying there on the ground. Roman picks up the title, looking at it. It's a title he's had for so long. Cody turns around, looks at him, and he hands the title to Cody to acknowledge him as the champion. Little show of respect between the two. Why? Because now you're not overshadowing Cody. The same way Cody didn't overshadow, ended up being the overshadow of The Rock, actually, because everybody went crazy when he came out to give Rock the position of the WrestleMania match. Mm-hmm. But you're hoping that, okay, Roman's going to be the big baby face when he returns. Now you hope maybe a little bit of that comes down a little bit to where him and Cody stay about the same, because if not, Cody's going to get overshadowed. So I think there's going to be some kind of a confrontation, shall we say, between Roman and Cody. But Cody wins the match.
Okay.
Next up, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley.
You go first.
You, Sean Stanley. Okay, thank you for asking. Here we go. I feel that I'm stupidly going to pick Liv Morgan.
Okay.
And I'm only picking Liv because I feel like what we've discussed earlier is going to play out. Not that Dom turns on Rhea, but there's going to be the perception. And I think in order for that to work, Liv has to remain the champion for this storyline to work. If Rhea just comes through roughshods and ragdolls her and ends it, like, I feel like all of this whole thing that we've been doing with the Judgment Day and everything is for naught. And unlike the other company, they usually are pretty good at bringing along these storylines. So I'm going Liv Morgan retains the championship.
Okay. For a minute there, I was thinking Liv Morgan. But this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Dom is going to go ahead and cost Rhea Ripley the match. Liv uses whatever chair or whatnot, but Rhea is able to kick out and still win, which brings in a controversy between Rhea going ahead and telling Dom, look, you almost cost me winning the belt. So you're gonna go ahead and then Dom is like, no, what are you talking about? I didn't cost you anything. It didn't happen. Yes, you almost cost me the win. I almost lost it because of you.
Wow. You know what? Hold on. Go ahead. Finish your story. Now you got me thinking.
So I want to go with Liv. I swear I want to go with Liv, but something's telling me that Rhea is gonna win, but they'll still be able to continue the Liv Morgan story because of that. I think Rhea Ripley's able to go and win it, but there's a way for that storyline to continue to eventually happen again, where when Dom finally turns on Rhea, Liv wins the belt back. So I'm going with Rhea Ripley winning SummerSlam on Saturday, sir.
And you know what? To go right along there, how about this? What if Dom sacrifices himself so Rhea wins the belt? Right? He sacrificed himself. She gets the title. Everything is hunky dory. And as you say, then down the line, the rematch, then the true colors of Dom show.
It just makes I mean, again, we could.
Again, this is the one thing where it can go either way, man.
I could be
and both of them would work. And both ways would work if executed properly. That's the thing. So Rhea wins the belt and Liv wins the Dom. There you go. And it's a dirty situation. It literally is a dirty situation.
Very dirty out there.
WWE Women's Championship. Bayley versus Nia Jax.
Man, you waited that one to like the last one. I forgot.
I'm going in order on this list. That's why I said there's no way this is the order, because like they have Damian and Gunther as the top match.
Oh, I forgot about that match too.
Yeah,
this is a stacked card. I like it.
It's all title matches except for CM Punk Drew. Same thing that happened at the last one.
And not only that, but you see how it makes sense when you have storylines and you could justify each one. How more
we're not just guessing upon. We're actually talking storylines instead of being like Ospreay wins.
Exactly.
Why? Well, because he's better.
Okay, so let's talk Bayley and of course Nia Jax. Yes. Now, Nia Jax is a dark horse here, right? Like she is the queen.
She is.
She's the queen.
We'll talk about this together, and then we'll both go 1, 2, 3 and say who we're gonna pick. Okay?
No, don't make me. You're putting too much.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing. Bayley destroys her briefcase, right? Nia says, "I'll get you a new one. Just make sure you don't cash it in on me at SummerSlam."
Correct.
And she said, "Okay." And then Tiffany's like, "Are you gonna give me a gun?" She's like, "I'm gonna get one that matches your personality." So I feel like the pink briefcase shows up at SmackDown.
Okay.
But the problem I have is this. Does the WWE eliminate both Money in the Banks within a 3-month period?
That is a very good point.
Now you've got nothing to fall back on. Because remember, there's been a couple times where I don't know that the technical way they wanted to do the cash in was how they did it, but there was an injury or there was something that happened and they had that to fall back into. So, again, once you do that, there's no other, they can't make a 4-way international champ match and say that person gets to cash in.
Damn.
So, like, this is where. And
we're overthinking it, bro.
We are. But here's my other thing.
Crazy.
Like the Nia and Tiffy time tag team, I love. I don't want it to end.
Same.
Now, Like, I don't want it now. Ultimately, I get it. All good things got to come to an end.
Same.
But I love the fact that, like, my whole time I was thinking Nia does the damage and then Tiffany comes in and cashes in. But you saw how mad Nia got when that was the opportunity. So it's almost like if she does that, then she's throwing away that partnership. Not saying that Tiffany Stratton is always got to be, a true to her word person now. Don't get me wrong there. But I feel like she's the manipulator in the situation, going to try to control the damage to Bayley from Nia.
Man, I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this. And
then Cat for Life also says Michin, she's there too. Does she get involved? You've seen it happen and play out the last couple. I think this SmackDown is going to be a very telling part of this story, because do they all get involved? If it's just Bayley, Tiffany Stratton, and Nia, now then I think you've written Michin out of the story, is what I'm trying to say there. So, what's up to Trapio?
And the count of 3, are we going to say who we think is going to win?
Yes.
I'm down.
Well, we're going to say who we think is going to win or who's leaving the champion.
No, who we think is going to win.
Okay.
Lord, who do we think we're going to win?
All right.
So the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Bayley.
Why'd you wait?
No, I was going to go
it
Bayley.
Wasn't 3, then go. It's 1, 2, 3, go.
Bayley.
You're like,
Bayley.
Yeah, Bayley.
I got Bayley. Something tells me Bayley. Now, who's leaving the champion?
1, 2, 3. Tiffy time.
Bayley. Bayley.
All right. Well, that'll be one of our tiebreakers. I got Tiffy leaving as a champion.
Okay.
You've got Bayley leaving as the champion. We'll use that as one of the tiebreakers as well. All right. The World Heavyweight Championship, which if you would have asked me 2 months ago, I'd have been like a no-brainer. No-brainer. Not thinking twice on who I'm going to say.
That's rough.
But now, like the story that has developed of, Damian Priest being the guy on the streets and working his whole life to get to where he is, Gunther being just given everything. You've been given the best trainers, the best people to work with, this and that. And the story that they have told outside of everything else has just been tremendous. And the way they built up Damian Priest in the last 2 months, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, they made him a legit champ in the last couple months, to where it's not like, okay, maybe they're not just feeding him. I honestly thought he was going to get like, I don't even know what. I mean, like Finn Balor or people like that, to where he keeps the title to get to Gunther so Gunther could beat him. That's what I felt like this reign was going after WrestleMania. It just felt like, and I said the same thing with Cody as well, and the same thing with Swerve. It just felt like they got to that point and then really didn't have an idea of, okay, what are we going to do next? And since then, though, I've done a complete 360.
Okay. So you mean you're going with Damian Priest then?
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh, Lee Corso here?
So, and actually, I've got a prop here that I'm going to use in a minute.
Oh, getting fancy on me.
I've got a helmet. No, I really believe that, you know what's interesting? And like,
this is so good, man. The way we can't figure out, like we said,
but here's the thing, because again, where's the next fight at? Berlin, Germany.
Correct.
Where better for Gunther to win the title?
100%.
Like not in Cleveland. Like I almost feel like this is gonna be the match where Damian beats him and gets the respect from Gunther, and then Gunther wins at Bash at Berlin. That's the way I feel like. I feel like Damian Priest is my pick to win and leave SummerSlam the champion. But I feel like they're going to work out the angle to where they run it back at Bash at Berlin so Gunther can prove himself that he is the ring general. And that's the way it's going to go down.
Okay. So, look, for a minute there, I was thinking Gunther. When we first were talking, we've been building this up. They've made Damian Priest more relevant as a champion.
They made
I
him
like
legit.
them. They made him legit. I like that. He's had his catchy little phrases here and there. Like when he's like, uh-oh, and stuff like that, when the whole Rhea Ripley, Dom Mysterio and all that stuff. So they were making him, I think they were trying to build him as much as they could and make him a funny type of guy. And they made him a baby. Literally, he's kind of like a baby now. Then you got Gunther, the ring general, who hasn't fought as much as before.
He hasn't fought since King of the Ring, in which was the pay-per-view right after WrestleMania. That's the last time he's fought on TV. I don't know about live shows.
Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to be a little bit rusty. You know, I think he's going to be a little bit rusty. Man. You know, Priest defeated McIntyre to obviously win the belt. You got a Clash of the Castle, Money in the Bank, CM Punk, all that drama. I don't think you built all that stuff in favor of Damian Priest just to drop it like that against Gunther. I don't see it, man. I have to agree with you. I find it that some way somehow Damian Priest is able to retain the belt. So I'm gonna go with Damian Priest finds a way to retain the WWE belt.
All right, now the next thing goes, who is the opening contest of the night?
You want me to go first or you want to go
you
first?
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm looking at this list. So we got CM Punk and Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins. You got these three guys. It looks like a really good match to start off. It's just, I just can't. I think I don't want that big bang at the beginning. So I'm going to leave that one to the side. You got Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna leave that one open. LA Knight and Logan Paul. That's another good one because you know Logan Paul is gonna be in his hometown, LA Knight. Cody Rhodes versus Solo. We know that one's not gonna be. That's gonna be the last one. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. That could be a good one to start off, especially if you have twists and you have controversy and what Dom is gonna do. So that one could be a possible one. Bailey versus Nia Jax is not. It's there's not that much drama. There's some drama, but not that much. But I don't think so. You could leave that one as a possibility as well. And then Damian Priest versus Gunther. I don't see that. I think that's a high end one too. So the four matches that it's between the Braun Breaker, Sami, LA Knight, Logan Paul, Rhea, Liv, Bailey, and Nia. I'm gonna cross out Rhea and Liv. I'm gonna cross out. Man, fudge. Damn, putting this ring of death really makes me freaking think now. Guys, help me out here. Tell me what you guys think. Some people are saying Priest and Gunther opens it. No, man, I just don't see that. LA Knight versus. I don't think Sami and Braun Breaker are gonna open it. I'm gonna cross that one out. LA Knight and Logan Paul or Bailey and Nia Jax. I'm gonna go with Bailey and Nia Jax. I say that one opens it. Opener.
What's funny is the same one I picked.
No!
Yeah, but I picked it for way different reasons. I believe they opened that one because Tiffany cashes in and wins the title right off the bat.
Okay.
to start SummerSlam hot,
Okay.
and then they go in from there. The only other one that I would say would be what DiTrapio said. Logan
Nope.
Paul, LA Knight. I feel like there's going to be a title change in the first match. Because I don't think the title changes anywhere else. Oh, no, Breaker and Sammy. But other than that,
I have Rhea Ripley changing.
yeah, you have Rhea, but I don't. I have everybody retaining except for
So
LA Knight. And then Bailey, I have retaining, but then Tiffany cashing in.
Cashing
So
in.
I'm going to go, you know what, just to be a little bit different, I'll go LA Knight, Logan Paul opening, just so that we're not both on the tiebreaker there. And then I think we both can probably pencil in Cody and Solo for the main event.
Yes, of course, because of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, right. I mean, if
You
I'll
gotta
tell
end
you
the
this
show
right
with
now,
Roman coming.
if Cody or Solo's music hits before the main event,
I'm gonna be
Roman's
pissed.
not coming.
I'm gonna be pissed.
Or what do you think Triple H would do that? Because whatever matches happen after that, it's kind of
Yeah, it's gonna kill the movie.
yeah,
It's not gonna lift expectation because
it's gonna be tough. You got Roman returning, and then you're gonna go to what, Damian against Gunther? Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Not saying that they couldn't do it, but
the only one
that's
that
a
could
lot.
the only one that could hold ground would be, I guess. Well, let's look at it. If Cody and Solo are not going, what's another match that could close? Definitely the CM Punk Drew McIntyre, but that's not a belt, so that's
No,
why it hurts.
the only other one that would close other than that would be Liv and Rhea.
And or
But it
Gunther
doesn't
and
have
Damian
the
Priest.
fact that
Yeah, it
that
has to be Cody and
because
Solo.
I mean, look, Damian Priest and Gunther's good, but in Cleveland, it doesn't mean anything. Like on Bash at Berlin, you're in Gunther's hometown. That's the main event.
Well, now check this out. What about if they start off with Priest and Gunther?
Could be, but if they do,
Because now I'm thinking about the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. Maybe in a way, Judgment Day gets involved and Damian is in there as well. That's the only way I could think of that possibly getting involved.
it could be. I just feel like the first match is going to be a title change because that'll be the only match. Well, again, I have 2 titles changing. I have LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and then of course, actually, I have 3 titles changing hands. Sorry, totally forgot. I've got LA Knight winning the U.S. title, Braun Breaker winning the Intercontinental title, and then Tiffany leaving with the women's title.
And I got LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
But hold on, do we have enough to switch it up? Like as far as different picks, we have enough to switch the picks, right?
No, we're good. We've had 1,
Yeah,
2,
two.
2 different ones, and then we both picked a different first match. So
Okay. So
there's basically three tiebreakers there. So it's going to be 3. One of us is going to be down by 3 matches and having to, or somebody's going to be down by some matches going into AEW All In.
Now, sir, now talk to me. So let's explain this to the viewers. How is this gonna work? So every month there's a
Every
live
month, usually there's 2 pay-per-views, AEW
and a
and
WWE.
WWE. And some
Okay.
months there's a NXT as well. So there might be 3. And
and
then
a TNA too.
and TNA, if they throw in a TNA, we will pick those as well.
We could do those. Yeah.
And with those at the end of the month,
Okay.
we will put them all together. We'll look at the win-loss record, and
Okay.
the person with the most, whoever wins the most, basically wins. And then the other one, we will make a wheel of death, a
Okay.
wheel of punishment, a wheel of whatever you want it to be. I mean, everybody's got stuff already trademark gimmicked up or whatever. So we'll figure out something, and then we will spin it.
Now,
It
do
will
you want?
land on it, and then that person may have to do the show dressed as the Great Muda. So they'll have to sit and face paint the whole show, or we'll have to do it as La Parka or Asuka or whatever we have to do.
Well, there's okay. So let's throw some ideas out there for the fans, right? What do you think? So one of the things that I thought will be pretty cool is they did it a couple years ago. I think we could bring it back. We could record it as well. That means we could go live, or yeah, like we could go on our phone and we could actually have it there. And it's the ice bucket challenge. If you lose, you do the ice bucket challenge live on the Squared Circle Digest in front of it, and you have to do the show wet.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll find somebody, a restaurant or somebody that'll let us do it there. We'll do it out in the parking lot, and then you just sit in a chair and do the show wet.
But to twist it, we have to be dressed up as a wrestler. So we gotta see which wrestler we would be. The loser would you would, if I was the loser, you would pick the wrestler I would have to dress up as, and then throw the bucket full of ice on me, or vice versa. So if I tell you, Sean, I want you to be dressed up as Bastion Booger, you dress up as Bastion Booger, and we throw the
yes, I'll do it. Let's do it.
Somebody put Sing Point. That's one. The other one was the one I want to. The one I really wanted to do as well would be the hot wing chicken challenge. So we would have to eat a certain amount of spicy wings for losing.
Yeah, while we're doing the show.
While we're doing the show, yes.
Yeah, what we'll do them on kind of like remotes, wherever we can do them. We'll try to set it up to where we do remotes if we can do it, because you're open most Tuesdays nights, right? Where you could get out to a location as long as it's not something crazy.
Yeah, no. Every Tuesdays I'm usually open, and then if I have to sacrifice a Wednesday, we could start the Let Me Talk to You at a different location and then work our way over there. So
we'll figure it out. But again, each one is going to be something that we would like to do also while we're doing the show.
No doubt.
We don't want to just do
sounds like a
something.
reward.
Of course, it'll be for social media as always, but we want to be able to, like, the punishment is actually having to do it for the whole show. So like, you'll have to eat wings the whole show.
No, you know something. We could do one where we have one where we let the chat decide which one we should do. We'll
have a question mark, and the question mark will be, if we land on that, the chat gets to choose.
The chat gets to choose which one.
Again, within reason, by the way, too. I mean, I'm not gonna, take a sledgehammer to the forehead for anybody. All right, not anymore.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, some of these ideas, and you guys can send us some of your ideas as well. Just send us either to my account, Fresco Music, or you can send it to Sean Stanley, and then we'll go ahead and we'll add them on there.
And you see my handle right there.
And then you can see mine's right over down there behind the Frankie Fresco.
Oh boy, this guy.
Sorry.
The Trapio. Loser got to wear UM gear.
Oh, no. Don't do that to me. No, that's a treat for Sean.
That's what I say. Well, I'll have to wear something else. You'll have to
wear Florida Gator gear.
Oh boy.
Yes, baby. Let's go, Gators.
Are we gonna do that bet for that game? You want to do the bet for the game?
I'm down.
All right. That's a bet. It's done. Shake hands. Give me a hand. Shake.
Wait.
Shake on it.
Wait.
If the Canes win, you wear Canes gear. If the Gators win, I'll wear Gators gear for the whole show. Squared Circle Digest show.
Jesus, should I do this? Or, you know what? You damn Gators better win. God damn it. Let's go.
They're too sweet. Too sweet.
Oh,
all right. There we go. All right. Now somebody said Rikishi. Oh boy.
Somebody Rikishi. Oh, we could do the Rikishi dance.
We can do it. Let's do it.
We record the Rikishi dance, and you get to see the Rikishi dance.
We'd have to. You have to dress up in the whole garb too.
No.
Wrap around, and then you got to take off and butt cheeks and everything.
No.
Let's go, man.
I can't. I'm not gonna. My pale white ass is gonna be out there. No way, bro. I get like no tan whatsoever on my ass. You're gonna. I think that's the fans are actually. The people are not even gonna tune in. The people are actually gonna leave the program and not tune in. They're gonna be like, no, we don't want to see Frank's pale ass.
Oh, they're saying the Rikishi Ice Bucket Challenge.
Jesus.
Yeah, but you said you want me to dress up like Bastion Booger. That's worse than Rikishi almost.
No, it isn't, because you're not showing your ass out there.
Dude, let me show you this. Hold on.
There's nothing wrong with Bastion Booger. I think Bastion Booger is a hell of a wrestler. Bastion Booger is actually a very, very good wrestler out there, sir. Mm-hmm. How dare you disrespect Bastion Booger? He is good. Question is, will I be able to pull out Bastion Booger if that was the case? I
I
don't
gotta
know.
find one that actually has his outfit.
Gotta go with Bash and Booger. Shout out to whoever was that guy that one show that said it. Oh, look, Bash and Booger. That guy was good. And then Sean knows how to do his face really well. That's why I'll never forget that one. Loser gotta wear UM gear. Oh my god, Nick. The Trapio man, you really screwed me on that one. Damn it. I hope the Gators win, bro. Now I have to
There we go.
actually I
There
have
we
to
go.
tune in. I have to
Hold
tune in
on.
now. Fuck. Oh my bad.
Way to go. Way to go. There we go. We just dropped from PG to like.
I dropped an F bomb, the first F bomb of the show. Sorry, I'm trying to cut off on the F bombs. Oh,
There we go.
yeah.
That's what we're gonna be wearing. That's what you want to wear.
I could wear that. I could rock that. At least, I mean, I don't mind showing my man boobs. I just won't be showing, my pale white butt out there, bro. I could show my man. You're making me want to work out now.
We should have to do that one.
That one's not bad. That one actually works.
Eat pizza while you're.
Oh, that one. Go. That a little bit down. A little bit down. That one. That one's you right there. It is. Look at that one. That is great, bro. It's great. I love it. So good.
You know, what's funny is that was his character. Also, he was Friar Ferguson.
Wow. I only knew him as Bash and Booger.
Look at that.
Damn, that's old school right
Eating
there.
a chili cheese dog with Vincent.
Wow.
Is that where he's got turkey right there. He's eating turkey.
He was so good. I forgot about him completely. And then when that guy brought it up, I was like, holy crap, I remember him. This is
Look at
old
that.
school.
Battle of
Earthquake,
heavyweights
baby.
right there,
Earthquake
buddy.
right there.
Earthquake versus Bastion Booger.
Oh, so good.
That's where he was Norman the Lunatic in WCW.
Wow. Somebody says Vader. Dress up as Vader.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad one.
Vader's a tough one to dress up as too.
Well, just you got to find the mask.
Yeah. Kind of recreate his mask.
Yeah, that'd be the tough part.
But yeah, but it should be good, man. Now I'm really gonna tune into SummerSlam even more than before, because I'm gonna be rooting for me to actually pull it off. Hopefully, the good thing is that this ain't the final one. We have other.
We still got ones to catch up. There's actually more this month. I think there's an NXT one. There's 2 WWE ones, and a All In. So and an All Out too, I believe. No, All Out falls into September. Because the end of August is All In, then the beginning of September is All Out. So
yeah, because we got Bash and Berlin, I think falls on the 31st. Yeah, so we'll have that one there as well.
That'll be the last one. That'll be the only one we can catch up with.
We could
NXT one this month too, right?
NXT would be
No.
no.
American Bashes as regulars.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm sorry. They're doing like 2 weeks.
No Mercy is in September, so we would have the next one for No Mercy.
Okay, so
you would have that one.
September.
Now, my question to you is: do you want to do? We could try 1 month, or eventually we could do every like 2 weeks. It's up to you.
Yeah, we just got to see how we'll see how they coincide with each other, because also I don't want to be doing like basically we'll be fall behind on challenges and owing.
That's a good point.
Whereas I think at least this week, this gives us a month to pay up, 4 shows to pay up before the next one's due.
What about, are we going to have one where it says, like kind of get out of jail? So like one that you're like free and you don't have to do it.
We do 1 mulligan each. We can do 1.
There you go. Like a mulligan where you do that.
And in tribute of the great Blackjack Mulligan, the father of Barry Windham and Kendall Windham, the father-in-law of Mike Rotundo, the grandfather of the great Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas.
There you go.
1 mulligan.
I like it.
There we go. All right, let them know where they can see you or hear you or whatever it is, Mr. Frankie Fresco.
Well, all of you guys could always tune in every Wednesday, 8:00 to the Frankie Fresco. Let Me Talk to You podcast is me, of course, the Trapio there who gave that horrendous idea of loser gotta wear UM gear. So it's gonna be rough for me. Damn Gators better win. And then you could also follow me on all social medias. Fresco Music, you can see it there on the bottom in the white, on Twitter or X. IG, Facebook, TikTok. You guys are more than welcome to go ahead and follow me in any of those. And then also, if you guys would like to be a guest on the Let Me Talk to You podcast, you're more than welcome to hit me up, send me a message, send me a DM, and I'll be more than happy to squeeze you in. We like to have guests on that show as well. We talk sports, we talk NXT, we talk everything. Last week we had the Trapio out, but we had not the Trapio in,
Not the Trapio was in,
which was cool. People were saying,
as our truth said yesterday.
People were saying,
is bringing back in your house pay-per-view.
Am I watching the right show? So definitely catch me and my brother, and then obviously don't forget to hit the like and subscribe on Sean's channel, and then obviously on my channel as well. Help us both out. And if you have friends and family or just want to see us do silly stuff, hit us up. We're always gonna do. Like I said, this is a cool little thing that mostly Sean came up with the idea, but I went along with it since he wanted to throw me through a table. That could be one of the actual things.
Yeah, we said there's going to be like 3 that are going to be like very difficult, and then the rest are going to be kind of
hit me with a candlestick. Oh no!
I'll do it. We'll gimmick it up.
Hit me with a freaking candlestick. I'll be like, holy crap, that thing really hurts.
Yeah, they hurt. You just got to be like, yeah.
What about you, Sean? Where can they find you, sir?
Sean_Stanley11 XIG and Threads, as you can see right there. Stanley Media House on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, I talk wrestling. So please join in, DM me, whatever, follow me, follow back as well. And Frankie Fresco. Next week, same time, same place. I'm not doing that. I'm just kidding. In the words of the great Gordon Soley. Oh, wait. I almost did it again. I did it last week too. I forgot. No doubt appreciate you. Karoon appreciate you. The Trapio in the house. Cap for Life has been in. Terry's been in. My dad's been in. EA was in. And we'll reach out to me, EA, and or Frankie. We'll set you up to bring you on at least once, man. We'll get you in here. And then should we do a SummerSlam pre or post? Or are you good? Or can you do that? Or is that off
I'm free.
limits or what?
I'm free on Saturday. I don't have anything going on Saturday.
All right, we'll be here pre. We'll lead into the I think they go at they're going to start at 5, I believe, for their show, but we could still do like 5 to 6 and then catch the last hour of the pre-show and come back after.
Sure.
I'll be more that, or you think we should just do the post because we've done the kind of the pre already?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard because we already made our picks.
Yeah, we did the picks and everything. So we'll be here after the pay-per-view goes off the air. We'll talk about everything that we saw on the air because if we do a pre, we'll just do the same stuff. Steven Gonzalez, appreciate you being in as well. If I didn't say so, Terry, no doubt. My dad, appreciate everybody. Everybody on X that has been on. If you're watching this on the Stanley Media House YouTube channel or the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel, jump over to the other, hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button on your way out. And in the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the sun, shine, stay.